Oh,
All right. You can hear me now, right?
Yeah, getting nice and loud and
yeah.
clear.
Fantastic. All right. So I've got the stream on. I've got my headphones on. All right. First of all, apologies. Thank you so much, Aaron and the QA crew, for keeping the people entertained. In my mind when I was planning this event, I was like, "Oh, crud! They want to start. I got to be considering. These wonderful people are off. It's 10 o'clock for them. Let's do it. I have special reason. I can get home at 5 o'clock. But I met within the worst case scenario. An overturned power generator was led things to standstill traffic. So we're starting a little bit late, but I'm glad that we are starting now. So it is so glad to have you here with us today. Because I have gathered the intrepid crew of Frey's Bug Hunters. These are the people who go into the depths of Area 12 to hunt down the most pernicious, frustrating, game-breaking bugs. They are the ones who are responsible for ensuring that this game is playable, that it is stable, their mission is never ending. They are the people who consistently try to answer your calls. Who are you going to call when your game breaks? The Bug Hunters. So, Aaron, with that, I take it with you. I would love for you to introduce yourself again, as well as your two lovely partners in crime.
Thank you very much. Hi guys. For those of you who weren't here last time, my name is Aaron. I'm the lead QA for Frey Interactive. I've been with the company now for around, I want to say, between 2 and 3 months. I started my journey in QA back in 2019, working for a small company called High Fidelity. Those of you who have played Second Life, you may be aware of it. If not, no worries. And after that, I worked for a company called Downpour Interactive, where I met Riker here, Zachary, who is a fantastic person. And yeah, my journey has concluded so far with a Fray, and it's been fantastic. Zach, if you'd like to give your piece.
Yeah. So my name is Zach. I actually started my QA journey maybe about just a little over 5 years ago with Downpour Interactive, where I met Aaron. Um, Started as a normal QA and worked my way up as a senior there. And yeah, took a little bit of hiatus for about a year, and now I'm here working with as a senior at a Fray with Aaron, and who is an excellent lead, I might add.
No, thank you. The gun is still cocked to his head. That's why he said that.
You know.
I don't know.
No, but
And Law. Oh, sorry,
yes.
Zach.
No. I was just saying yes, and obviously, and Laura as well. She is fantastic. She's been fantastic as well.
That's wrong.
Thank you, Zach. Laura, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Um, Hi, my name's Laura. This is my first QA job, and I'm really enjoying it. I already love horror and horror games, so I at first volunteered to help out QA because I just love the game so much, and playing it with Yuppie and Riker was so fun. So then I joined the QA team, and this is my first QA, and it's just been brilliant. It's been amazing.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
And so I think we decided that we before we get into it, we're going to start off with some Outpost Axiom gameplay. You're going to give us a little bit of a background about the process of bug hunting, and then I will submit a poll. You, the audience, will get to determine. You have this elite squad of game players, these elite squad of game breakers, these people who know Area 12 from the back of their hands. What hot zone will you send them in? Will you send them to Area 12 Chapter 1, Area 12 Chapter 2, or Area 12 Chapter 3? or the new Antarctic map? What zone will they go? What bugs will they be able to detect? What will they be able to hunt down? That will be in your hands. But before that begins, before we get that consensus, let us head into Outpost Axiom and learn the ways of the bug hunters.
Thank you so much, Isaac. They've already seen how bad I play the game in the booth, so I wouldn't big us up too much. But no, Zach, if you wouldn't mind hosting a lobby, and Laura, if you wouldn't mind joining that, and Zach stream it, and I'll handle the first few questions. We'll just kind of, get comfortable, and then we'll all jump into whatever the poll decides, whatever you, the users, wish for us to investigate and bug hunt in.
No problem.
Sounds like a
Certainly.
plan. So if you all have any Q&A questions, please submit them on YouTube and in the Discord chat. I believe Aaron will be able to see them. We will both be having our eyes on the chat. Aaron, if you see anything that strikes your fancy, feel free to answer it. And if there's any dead moments, I will, of course, be searching and feeding them to you as well after I prepare the polls.
Excellent, I appreciate that. Shall I just be checking on the Discord, or shall I also check on the YouTube place to look at?
If you have the tabs, definitely check out the YouTube if you want to have both of those, but whichever is easier for you. I've got them both queued up, though, on my thing.
Fantastic. All right, thank you. I'll do that. Just bringing that up now, getting that nice and clear.
No
Is it
problem.
is it cheating if I answer the poll?
Well,
I
the beauty about democracy is you are but one voice of many, so I don't know if you're enough to sway it entirely. But the poll is live on YouTube. So far, Antarctica's winning, but we've still got like 20 plus people here in the Discord, so we will have to see. We will do a composite of both mediums to see who is ultimately the winner.
I am curious what it's going to be. I won't say what I'm hoping for because I want to see if people hit it without me saying anything.
Zachary, it seems like you might want to like unstart and restart your stream. I'm not seeing anything yet. I've got the dreaded 2 circles.
Oh, interesting. Are you seeing the same thing, Aaron?
I'm seeing it, but the bitrate is suffering a tad. But I think that's Discord because we've got quite a large group.
I can go ahead and restart it real quick. Let me just to make sure. Boop.
We have lost visuals on the UIU.
I've
regained visuals. Oh no, never mind. Sorry.
Yep. Now I can see it on Laura's or Law's, and I can also see it on Zachary's.
Okay.
Excellent.
Cool. All right, let's move in, Laura.
Yes, there is a place you can. Sorry, answering Marty McFly there. There you go. Bug reports. Tackett beat me to it. Goddamn. Nice one, Tackett.
So here's sort of a broader question. Should people feel invited to at you on the Fray Discord when they have a bug? I invite people to at me just because my job is to always be looking for the red alerts and dealing with the red alerts. What is the best way that they can reach out to you and your respective team members?
So typically we'd have them go through a community manager sort of role. However, as you're aware, we're currently still kind of putting the feelers out there to find somebody to fit that. The closest person, of course, Isaac, would be yourself. I do prefer not to be added just because I don't want to be rude and not respond to all of them. I get so many messages on the daily, it's unreal, and I have so many communications to keep up with. However, we do check over the bug reports in the community. We do try and incorporate them. We've had, just to be transparent, it's been a crazy time recently with the release, and we've got so many things in store coming up that yeah, we don't get a chance to go through all of it. However, ever since the release of 014 0, which is what they're currently on, what we're currently on, we will be checking through them and kind of we've got our own master list of all the bugs that have been coming in from the community. A lot of them we have already found ourselves, of course, but there are a cheeky few which are insane, like that we wouldn't have caught on our own. Can't think of any off the top of my head from the community, but there have been some that surprised us, like wow, you know.
So what are the really tricky bugs? What are the ones that surprised you most? In the 14. You know, I always like to think of like dealing with a technical issue. You ever remember that scene from Independence Day where they try to nuke the alien spaceships, hoping the nuke will destroy the shield, and then they're like, you know,
Oh, yeah.
do you have contact? Do you have contact? Is it gone? We did it? And then there's that moment where the depression was like, no, it didn't work. Duh, duh.
I'm not sure about that much gravitas, but just off the top of my head, I mean, trying to think, what would be one of the worst ones we experienced? I always think of the door squid for some reason straight away with the whole tongue punching situation, where like it just smacks you into oblivion. But I think that got mentioned last time, so that's a bit boring. There's been some bugs where upon initial spawning, like falling through the map. I mean, these are kind of things that were, of course, showstoppers. We've had ones where when if you ready up too fast, you just completely don't spawn anywhere. You just are stuck in the office room, staring at the lovely walls. So yeah, no, nothing comes to mind that's really that grandiose. But those are just some small examples, of ones that we've come across in leading up to the live, what's currently live in 014.
Rojahel asks, how do you determine how hard to push the game before you get diminishing returns, i.e. trying to find bugs using incredibly specific, unusual methods?
Oh, okay. So, sorry, let me read that again? Let me just get a red version of that.
Sure. How do you determine how hard to...
I see it.
Oh, you see it in the YouTube?
Sorry.
Yeah, I see that. So that's a really tough one. It is kind of a. So what we do is, towards the end of a patch cycle, we do end-to-end testing, where when we're in a pinch, we only get to do it once or twice, like 2 runs per map, and these will be from kind of a player perspective, kind of like what we're doing now, what Zach and Laura is doing now in the game. So it's more of a typical run. We note down what we find. We go through the game on each chapter or each mode, like preferably about 3 to 5 times, I would say. It really is dependent on what we're seeing. If the game runs well from like 3 tries over, then it's all fine. Obviously, with each set of bug fixes that go in. However, if we're seeing a lot of issues after 3 runs, we would typically extend that and go, up to 5 runs maximum, I would say. And again, maybe even more. It hasn't happened yet, but if it was bad enough, we'd give it more runs. So that, yeah.
Well said. And Zinthu the Sergal asks, do you find any bugs or glitches that almost break the game completely?
Yes, quite a lot of the time. Thankfully, most of those you guys don't get to see, which, believe me, is a good thing. That's the last thing you want.
I wish I'd have
Um,
known it was going to be night.
oh yeah, the night.
I didn't put no flashlights on.
Yeah. But yeah, like I mentioned earlier, issues of like the readying up, for example. I think that one unfortunately was live at one point, and you guys probably may have experienced that. So for those of you who are like me and you are very fast at clicking, and you just have that kind of mindset where you click everything as fast as you can because you're impatient, yeah, you're going to run into things. You may have run into that issue. I think it was a mainly chapter 1 problem though. There have been other game breaking bugs where it's like party system failure, where like for example, me, Zach, and Law, I'd invite them, nothing would happen. Funny enough, we kind of had that sort of happen on the stream when we first started. For those of you who were here on the dot, we just like repeatedly inviting them, and it wasn't giving a connection, which is unfortunate. So yeah, evidently some of those still are in the live patch. We've got them fixed on the back end, of course, or rather in our internal builds. But yeah, obviously we can't catch every single bug out there, and even ones that we do catch, it's a matter of giving the devs time to work through them, because something that might seem really simple to you or me, like as somebody who's not a developer, yeah, it sometimes you say, oh, it should be easy to make this small change, but no, this small change can result in a plethora of new problems. This especially happens to projects that are in the indie environment where they were worked on with a very small team working out, and then they go off of that with a larger team later down the line, similar like with the Fray. So there is a lot of things that need to be worked out with the code, or if they were using blueprints, for example, anything like that. So it's growing pains, I would say, growing pains.
And
Sorry for the long-winded answer there.
No, long-winded. That's what we're here for. That is the purpose of the. We're not at Comic Con. We don't have a 40-minute limit with Chris Hardwick. Looking at you to get off the stage. No, this is where people come for long-winded answers. This is where that's the beauty of it. Community events. That's the beauty of the indie spirit to have long-winded answers. So do not hold back. So Genesis asks, have you fixed the no head glitch?
Oh, I don't know about the fix. I mean, I could tell you how we identified it, but it's a rather simple answer. We grabbed a shotgun and we looked at each other and we thought that would be fun, and then the head popped off. However, no, we can't even take credit for that on our behalf. The devs were already aware of this, and I believe that the consensus is we'd like to keep it in, which I mean, I'm all for. I'm all for, frankly, with the gore effects, of course, a bit more touched up.
Bugging bad.
Oh, go on.
I can't look down my sight.
Oh, snap!
And when I try and switch guns.
Here we go.
Oh my God! We have it live on air, gentlemen. We have bug found. All right, Aaron, go into QA mode. Show us what do we do. What is the brush procedure? Take us in. This is Ghost Hunters. This is your time to shine. Let's see what it's all about.
Okay, so Law, please let me know what was your steps leading up to this. What was you doing just before it happened? I take it you respawned in.
Just picking a loadout, customized my guns, and then tried to swap weapons. And I think the mistake I made was pressing ready and then unreadying and then going to modify my weapons.
Okay, so what we can do in this case is if we suspend the gameplay portion for a minute, Zach, please set up a fresh lobby. Laura, join again as a client, and please follow the same reproduction steps that you had. It looks like it might be angle related. Move your gun around. Oh, okay, no, never mind. So these are sorry. That looks really. Is it a pistol that's showing up in place of the rifle, or am I going crazy?
Yeah, it's the 5.7.
Okay,
Because I was swapping between them, but they weren't changing positions or anything.
Okay, so yeah, choose the same loadout. So again, this is kind of how we go for our procedure. Usually, okay, I don't mind just doing this for now, but yeah, usually we would restart the game fresh in many instances for this, so that we can get the exact same kind of repro that we, to the best of our ability. Let me tune back into Laura's screen. There we go. So yeah, Laura, please choose the same attachments. So starting out. So first of all, we make sure to get the exact same reproduction to make sure it works. After having the exact reproduction, we might spend some extra time investigating to whittle down, what could be the cause. So it might not be every individual step she took before that happened. It could be a set of specific steps. So it might not matter the modifications, for example, but it might matter with the exact weapon. So the more we can kind of, like I say, whittle that down for the developers, that helps them with their side of investigation, where we give them the information from a reproduction standpoint, or reproducing the bug, and then they take it in the code or what have you, and investigate based on the prompts that we've given them, or the steps. Typically, they would do that in engine. We work off of the build most of the time. For those of you who are not aware what that means, the engine refers to, in this case, Unreal Engine. They work off Unreal. They can do all of their debugging within that. QA typically, not every company is the same, but with us, we like to stick to the build. We are doing it from a, like I would say, end-to-end user perspective, player perspective. Oh, Laura, so did you respawn? Did you die and respawn when it happened?
Yeah, this was like probably our third attempt into the round. It was after a map vote.
Yeah, so
after a map vote. Okay, that's key information right there.
But I think what happened is I started the loadout, and I pressed ready while Riker wasn't ready, and then Oh, and then
Oh, good headshot.
sorry, and then pressed like remodified my guns and then pressed ready. So I think that's what happened. I readied and then unreadied and then readied again.
Okay, that could be the culprit. I'm not 100% sure.
Interesting. Let's
Is
try it
that what you
again.
did? Yeah, did it second time over? Is that what you did this time or no?
This time I couldn't because Riker was already ready, but
Okay.
Okay, yeah, we'll
everything's
coordinate
working
this time.
normally.
Let's restart the client so it's fresh, guys, and then just send invites again and restart your streams.
Sounds good.
Can I just say how like happy I am? I feel like those ghost hunter shows where they like walk around and they never find a ghost. Because it's debatable if ghosts actually exist. But then we actually got a bug. Yes. Oh my God. Live bug on air. Thank you, SCP-5K, at least for the purpose of this stream.
Right. We've had a few actually, and before you arrived, Isaac, there was quite a few ran into that. Because again, we're back on the live branch, so stuff that's been fixed internally is not fixed here. So we're seeing some old faces popping up in the literal sense for some of the bugs, like the faces hanging from people, and yeah, the figurative. Laura, did you restart your client, Laura?
Did I exit out the game?
Yeah, please exit and restart, and then join
Okay,
Zachary's
sorry,
lobby.
Riker, you gotta send the invitation again.
Oh yeah, no problem. No problem.
That's it, guys. Stream's ruined. Go home. No, I'm kidding. No. Let's look at the chat quick. All my homies hate the foundies. That's great. Good stuff. Good stuff.
So this bug,
Yeah, that's a good idea.
this bug that was encountered, this wasn't like something you were aware of. This was a new one.
No, we've had similar bugs, but not exactly this, where the weapon's swapping out for the pistol. We've had other weapon model issues that have happened. I can't say in the first person as much. We usually see issues with the disappearing of certain modifications and whatnot from a third player perspective. So, for example, just a quick one that comes to mind, Chapter 2, when you very first spawn in, whichever gun happens to spawn, whether it's the MP5 or the AUG or TAV or whatever it might be, you'll often find that there's like it may have attachments, but you can't see the attachments on the model, or like you might see extra magazines around the gun model where it's kind of like just messing up and showing these details that it shouldn't,
Let me know when you're ready, Laura.
All right, 1 second. Just getting.
Y'all tested Area 12 yet? Yes, many times over, and there is still something new that pops up in almost every single run,
Ready,
if not every single run.
unready.
Readying up. Oh, okay.
There's a pug shouting at me from outside my booth. I can hear it.
I love dogs, but one thing that always frustrates me is when the dog just shouts at you and you're like not quite sure what it wants, and you've already walked it, you've already fed it, and you're like, what is going to make you happy?
You're right. This one, I've actually just let her in now. She's by my feet. Are you okay, Marcy? Little cutie. She's a pug loaf, a loaf of pug. Come here then.
Pug loaves are the best.
She's a baby.
So Friendly Pigeon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Friendly Pigeon asks, from what I experienced, this happens with any loadout. Is it something with the game mode / ready function? And this can happen in any mode. I had an experience with the weapons testing.
Okay. Excellent. Do you have any steps you can give us for that? Any hints you can give QA? It does sound like it might be ready related, as Law pointed out, and of course that extra information helps.
We're all good. Everything's fine.
Everything's
Can't
good.
replicate it apparently.
Let me try something. Let's try something real quick. Let's go out here and die naturally.
Sorry, guys. 1 second. Marcy's
No problem.
That is the dog that I am watching. Oh, Kodak. Wonderful little ragamuffin.
That's a lovely name as well, Kodak. Priceless.
You usually see that on big dogs, Kodak.
Where are these guys?
Oh yeah, it's a big dog name, like Loki.
Which is
you
funny
know.
because he's tiny. He was tiny.
He's a diddy dog.
Kodak is very small.
Oh, here we go. Hello, good sir.
Yes, you have
Oh.
found me.
Oh, he's having a little bit of a struggle there.
Oh,
Just a little bit. I opened the gate into him, and he didn't.
So that little thing
another
we saw, is that now like naturally occurring with him just kind of like getting stuck with a gate, or is that an AI issue?
So I'm not sure the exact issue there, but I would just, from my knowledge of Unreal and in general game engines, I'd imagine that's to do with his pathfinding. So there's like a nav mesh that typically is used, and I'm pretty sure we use it in this game, where the floor. I mean, if you can kind of imagine, I'm going to explain this terribly, by the way, because I am not a developer. But there's like you get this kind of nav mesh along the floor, which is a set of like a plane, right? And by plane, I mean a flat surface which goes across certain areas. And these have all these connecting points where the AI can go to and from. With things like doors, because they open and shut, right? It can't. Well, depending on the way it's programmed, or what has already been set in place, they might not be able to navigate around the door because it basically moves into the nav mesh area. So if you can imagine, they know that the door is there, but they might not always know when the door's open. So they kind of get stuck in these
Right.
awkward positions where they're just running into it and stuck into the corner. This happens in actually a lot of games. This happened in the last project I worked on as well. However, in that project, we didn't have opening doors. We just had doors that were open. So that was even funnier. Just the door never opens or shuts. They just get stuck on it. These
Okay, then
things
I
are
could try that.
Oh, you're all good. Okay.
Friendly
We
Did
Pigeon.
exactly the same thing.
Friendly Pigeon has
So-
some interesting insight that might help you out. From what I could say, the way I could reproduce this bug was by pressing ready immediately after modifying a weapon, but this was at 0.13, so this may be fixed, so beware of this.
That's still a good shout. Thank you, Friendly Pigeon. Could we give that a try, guys? Law, would you be when you respawn in next, or if you guys die and try and go back to the loadout? Let's see if spamming that ready button upon immediately modifying does anything. I mean, there's another bug that happens in our. I don't know what I'm allowed to say specifically, but
Oh no,
in our,
that's what I did. That's what I did when I
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
readied, then unreadied, then readied again. I readied after I did the loadout and modified my guns. Instantly pressed ready, then unready, then went to modify my gun again, and then press ready again.
Gotcha. Okay, so this is an interesting thing to bring up regarding QA. A lot of the time, it's great when we can reproduce bugs on a single go, and it's like, yes, that was satisfying. It's done. We can put the steps in. If we need to investigate further, we do. We don't always need to, of course. However, with things that are like almost like RNG, you know what I mean, like a random chance of happening, not speaking on this job in particular, but in past jobs, and Zach, I believe you remember this, we once had to do a test that went over about 200 times regarding a ticket system. Do you remember that?
Yes.
That was painful. That was painful.
That was interesting.
That was a very long time, very long day where we had to basically go into a lobby and repeatedly kill ourselves in the game, of course, over and over and over and over. And this was in a VR project, so you're standing there, especially during the summer, you're getting a little bit sweaty and just constantly like hitting the kill key, or the kill UI button over and over and over. And then like every time you're doing this hundreds of times, you have to keep a close eye on the ticket counts to see when the bug occurs. So things like this are an absolute pain, and reproduction of a bug can be easy. It can be one time, or it could be, again, like in that rare case, 200 times over just to get a single reproduction to produce a log for the developers.
Oh my god, it almost sounds like a Black Mirror episode. I could almost imagine that in the future. That's kind of like ours, but a little bit more advanced. Q&A testers play the latest VR game console that has complete simulation, but they have to kill and maim themselves to reproduce the bugs. Oh my god. Isn't Black... And then it turns out that they're actually AI constructions, because every, 50% of Black Mirror storylines are always about AI constructions in computers.
Yeah. AI is scary,
And
man.
AI
I'll
is
say
going to
that.
take
AI
over the
is a scary
world.
thing. Yeah,
Right.
legit. This is going to start becoming a conspiracy theory podcast soon. It's not even going to be about the game. It's going to be how AI is going to affect your life and your job. Yeah.
Well, until AI can magically make the bugs go away, I think you guys should be.
Oh, yeah, it would be lovely.
Your job should be safe as long as they're incredibly complicated 3D environments and hard to replicate weird things. You shall have a place.
Hopefully, and if not, if they just make me like, they could just put me in charge of teaching the AI, I'd be fine with that. You know, that's like the last call we have, right? In each industry is getting the opportunity to be a trainer for the AI, or at least some speculate, I should say, some speculate.
So we have.
Oh no.
We have some votes. It seems that combined between the YouTube and the Discord, we have the vote is to send you guys into Chapter 1 of Area 12.
Okay, no, it's a fair shout. That's fine. I don't know if we'll complete it, but we'll give it a bloody good go.
Just ready up real quick, Laura, and we'll restart.
We just want to see you find some bugs. And as a tribute, I have a little song here for you guys. If there's something strange in your game space code, who are you gonna call? Bug hunters! If a glitch appears and it breaks the chase, who are you gonna call? Bug hunters! I ain't afraid of no bugs. I ain't afraid of no bugs. And if you see sprites going all askew, who can you call? Bug hunters! And your AI foes just stand and chew. Who are you gonna call? Bug hunters! If you've got a ghost in your machine, spawning errors left unseen, just call bug hunters. If a quest won't end or it's looping wrong, who are you gonna call? Bug hunters. If your sound gets stuck in an endless song, who are you gonna call? Bug hunters.
Now we get the trumpet, right?
I ain't afraid of no bug. We're gonna join Aaron's lobby.
Yep, we're all gonna stream our screens for you. Scream at our screens as well,
Screens.
depending on what happens.
So for you people on YouTube, I will select the screens to follow. We will start off with Aaron's. But if you are in the Discord, you have the wonderful privilege of picking which one of these three people you want to follow and to see what goes down. I think that's a great feature of the Discord. The fact that we've got three people here playing three different POVs. What bugs will they find? What is gonna happen? What are they going to detect? We will see. And maybe if you want a bug that you want to suggest, you can make a suggestion, but I cannot guarantee they will be able to reproduce it. But I am excited to see them go into the new version of Chapter 1. Will they find a new glitch with the SCP-3199? Or will the door squid create a new issue? Who knows?
Another tongue punch inbound from the door squid. Okay, just before, guys, I'm gonna hit start, but I do need to use the restroom really quick. So if you want to focus on someone else's screen while they're starting off, and I'm just gonna be right back real quick.
Sounds good.
Okay.
I'll press ready though, so you're not just like waiting for me. Oh, actually, sorry, before I go, good talking point. So various bugs we had at this exact point of the game in the starting ready screen, where like I mentioned earlier, if you tap that ready button too fast, you're just stuck. You cannot start the lobby. You are pretty much screwed. Another fun little bug we had was UIU floating off the ground. So where he is now is pretty spot on. It looks really good. However, he was about this far off the floor where his foot is there. He was all the way up here. Nice floating magical boy. So yeah, certain little weird quirks like that, which were funny to observe. Oh, hello. That is the first time in a very long time I've seen someone spawn in the same room as me. Okay, I will be right back rather quick. Thank you, guys.
Sounds good.
Quick question from Saul while Aaron is attending the restroom. You guys mentioned VR QA testing. I wonder, how are your stomachs for those? Can't have been fun for locomotion bugs.
So yeah, local motion bugs. Yeah, we actually some people tend to be a little bit more sensitive to that whole thing. Um, I'm not particularly one of those people. I can generally, I don't really get sick in the that phone. I don't really get sick when it comes to the VR aspect of things. But we used to have a couple of testers that would actually be like what we would call the canary in the coal mine. And that's how we knew that there was a performance issue going on, that there was something like, because we had like performance graphs and whatnot, but there were some things that would hitch that didn't seem quite um I guess I'm just gonna stare at this guy for a minute. um yeah, that didn't seem quite like it would hit the graph like for like a split second, and so you couldn't really quite reflect it. You couldn't like really record it visually, or like from a graph. You could just see it took a hard dip. But this one person that we always had, she could always kind of sense it. She'd start getting sick, and that was how we kind of dealt with that whole issue, because some of us just weren't really susceptible to it, and like there were times where we'd be like, some of us would be like, well, this is fine. You shouldn't really. We don't know any people that would get sick off this, but the fact that we had a tester, that would actually get sick off of it, we would consider that as that would be considered as like a P1 for us. Like it has to be fixed.
So
People getting sick.
So, is that just random luck of the draw? You get someone who has motion sickness. Like, is a VR game screwed if you don't have that one person who's like the special sixth sense? With my mutant superpowers, I get motion sickness in VR.
Not really. I mean, it's like you can still tell like the egregious ones. It's just like it helps to have somebody who is actually sensitive to that. That way they can give you their feedback from it. Because you kind of you don't want to limit your game to like a certain amount of people, and then like I wish I could play it, but I just get sick. Try to mitigate it, right?
And did the poor person?
I get real bad motion sickness.
That's right. Yeah, Laura, you didn't work with us officially, but there were times like we would be like, this build's kind of janky from the other project, and you'd be like, yeah, I can tell.
yeah, VR kicks my butt for some reason.
Gotta get your VR legs, as they say. Everyone's different.
The VR goggles.
I got the card, by the way.
You get the VR goggles, then you get your they call it iron legs, your VR legs. Yeah, it's it took me. I mean, when I first started VR, I used to get the sickness a little bit, but for me, it was a particular game. It was an early on project. Why am I going the same direction? Goddamn! You know when you just like run. You know when you're talking and you're trying to like play a game.
Yeah, I was doing the same. Doors open, by the way.
Okay. Oh, it's already open. Oh.
Yeah.
And he just disappeared.
You're a bad boy. Oh, I looked away at the worst time. I'm getting cocky. Yeah. There was a project in a VR game years ago that when after you.
Oh, we can't close it anymore.
Oh, we did that one. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's fine. We can just. It's all right. We're fine. We're fine.
This is good.
It's all good. He don't want to come in here. He's. Oh yeah,
keep walking. Just keep walking.
If one of you can keep an eye on that door for a second while I go over this one. So yeah, there's an animation that plays here in the game. I don't know if this issue is actually fixed in the live launch. I believe it is fixed internally. With the animation for the resonator plays as the host or a client gets near. However, if you're like me and you like to run everywhere and caution to the wind, you will see him go through, and then you'll see him spawn back here as like just a floating demonic dog. I mean, whatever you want to call it, Wait, look away from the door. I wonder if he even comes in. I don't think he's gonna.
I think he's
Yeah, he despawns after a certain point. You can get him in here, or at least I have done before, but it's been a while since I've seen it happen. Oh, okay, you're already in the vent. I'll be with you in a sec. I'm just
Oh, no problem.
I like the new details in this room. I'm sure a lot of you appreciate that as well. It used to be quite bare, but now it's got a nice little bit of atmosphere to it. The level designers really did a great job of that.
Ooh. Yeah, Act 1 always just keeps on getting little extra bits of polish. It's amazing how much it's changed in just a few updates.
Right. legit.
Ooh, Aaron. Here's a good thing you might want. Do you want to show them the doll or try to attempt it?
Oh, yeah, they probably know about the doll. I mean, if anything, they should be teaching me about the doll.
Oh, yeah, right.
Why not? Why not? Let's try it.
What's the
So for
doll?
those of you who haven't, so there's a. I'm actually not fully well versed on the history for this one because I just haven't we haven't dove much into the Easter eggs because there's been a couple issues with them. But if you're looking at my screen now, there is an Easter egg down here for SCP-173, and I won't. If you guys want to go ahead, by the way, like just continue on. I'll just carry on going down these events and hopefully won't die. But
Okay.
there is a doll you can find. Now, I don't know what it currently does, or rather, I'm not going to tell you what it currently does because it's not my place to. But the doll is meant to have an effect. However, I don't know if it's actually in the current live build, but there are some ideas being worked on. I must admit, I haven't actually even asked yet, but I don't know what this is about. And this is something I'm still learning regarding, like I say, Easter eggs. Of course, it looks like a code. I've tried doing the whole. If we have any, like, if we've got any of the devs in the chat and you know the answer, I would actually genuinely appreciate it. And I apologize for not asking you just in general on the clock.
So you think there's like a secret code there, and then it's supposed to open, and then you get like the special doll?
Oh no, I don't know if that's specific to the doll because there is another way round. But there's something about that little code there. I don't know if it's to do with Dave. For those of you who know, oh, did I go wrong way? I went wrong way. Okay, that's my bad. I forgot
saw
it's
your health disappear.
Yeah, I think there's like 3 Ooh, the vent bug. Oh yeah, I'm sure many people know about this. Your heads pop out of the vents from a third-person perspective, but when you're going at a slanted, no. Okay. I'm just gonna say we don't usually like to use any kind of cheatsy stuff here, but for the sake of showing you the doll, because I really do think it would be nice to show off, I'm gonna go back a little bit here. Oh, wrong way, wrong way. I do want to show them that doll because it's quite interesting. If I can find my way back. Oh my god. So further down, further down.
As a
God,
waste of bullets.
no matter how many
Right.
times you play a mission, you still lose your way when you're doing this. Oh my god. Oh, there we go. Is that? There we go. That's the one. That's the one from before, maybe? No, that is it. Yeah, okay. Let's go back to where we left off, or nearby at least.
So how useful is
Right.
the sort of like cinema camera god mode in
Camera?
regards for like the camera for deducing bugs or recording footage? Is that like a big tool in your QA toolbox?
Yes, absolutely. We don't. So the thing is, when we reproduce bugs, we try our hardest to get them without any sort of cheats or finicky play. Like again, the Shift J for the camera, or the God mode, like you say, or giving weapons. We try and do things legit. However, if we have confirmation that that it's going to be a hard reproduction, and we know that it's not going to affect the result by doing these things, then we'll use it. But most of the time, we don't. If we're trying to just grab a little bit of extra information, like say we give a screenshot of a particular messed up bit of geometry, we give them coordinates as well as the image, but it might help to give them either a Shift J perspective just to kind of look at the object. It just helps the level designers get there quickly. Especially if we accidentally forget the coordinates, because when you're going through tons of bugs, there are just times where you forget to click one button and it's a bit of chaos. Hold on, I think I'm going the right way, but I'm really nervous now because there are so many ways to go. I'm gonna die, aren't I? God damn it! I think I went here last time. Oh no, I think it's this one. Oh god. Yes, yes.
So
I've only done this once,
0841.
by the way, like once before.
what
What's
bug?
the code?
Oops.
Oh,
What
sorry, 0841.
what bugs are kind of like the most? What's giving you guys trouble in update since 0.14 in Area 1? Like, have the chicken men caused a lot of problems, or is it just the door squid with the tongue punching?
We've had some bugs from both. 3199 relatively well, from what we experienced. By the time it reached QA, it was relatively stable. There were some difficulty issues, like balancing we had to do. I mean, there was one playthrough we did where we oh no, okay, I'm gonna have to cheese it. I'm sorry, guys. I don't want to have to make you go through that all again, or myself all again. Yeah, 3199. We've had issues with like a exorbitant amount of health, for example, where 3199 is just ridiculously ridiculously OP, and then we've had bugs alongside.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm really bad at the platforming side on this. I'm not gonna lie. We've
Oh,
had bugs where they've become spongy and tanky in terms of bullet count to drop them, but also the oh hello me hello. Um, we've also had bugs where there's been like 20 of them spawning. So in the main logistics area where you kind of see the
No,
oh
oh,
in trouble guys.
no. Oh, I died.
God damn, I'm so bad at
knife.
platforming. Yeah,
Oh,
sorry, like I was saying, we've had tons of 3199 spawn before. So like where there should be 3, there's like 20, and that was quite a
I
kerfuffle.
wasn't watching back.
Uh,
No, what
are they like the tankiest enemy in the game right now in terms of like having the most hit points?
I think so. They're not the hardest enemy, but yeah, I think they do have the most hits to kill. I could totally be wrong about that. I haven't seen the actual official, health count, like what
I
specific
think you're
gun takes
right
as many
about that.
rounds. But we do have we generally understand them to be the most tankiest. Sorry, I'm just thinking, where do I go from here? I swear I've done this legitimately before, but I might have taken a wrong turn somewhere. Oh, there we go.
So they're definitely beefy boys. Those chicken men.
They are, yeah, they are beefy boys.
Uh,
Very beefy.
Zinthru the Circle asks, "What reminds me? That reminds me of something when I play. Most of the times when I enter a new zone and the map reloads and I fall into the void, I don't know what is causing it, but it happens every time to me. What is that when you like kind of fall into a void when you reload a map? What is that error?
So, when you reload a map and you fall in, that might be related to the ready up bug. In a loose way anyway, where you ready up and the game hasn't had a chance to stream in. It's probably a streaming issue. So basically, to save your computer, and again, I'm going to butcher the explanation here because I'm not a developer. In terms of the technical aspect, but when you restart a level, you are in, of course, a different area by the time you died, and the game has to try and play catch up because your camera position has been taken all the way back to the starting area. Now, when this happens, depending on your hardware and depending on your things like your RAM and your hard drive and your CPU, etc., it's going to take a little while to populate, right? So if it hasn't populated in time, it will not count the collision as well as the rendering for the actual visuals, and you'll just fall endlessly. We have experienced this. I haven't had it in a while on our internal, so I want to say it's fixed, but I don't want to make any promises because there are always going to be situations where streaming can affect the player. Oh, and by the way, that's the doll. For those of you looking at my screen, if it's on right now.
Oh, they're very cute. Little. That is a amazing little Easter egg. Is that new? Or is that's been in there for a long time?
This I
I'm
don't know
out.
when it. Oh, you're out of bullets. I don't. It predates me being at the company, so I don't know much about it. I've had little bits of information here and there, but yeah, it's older than I am basically in terms of like a fray. And if we go down here, you shall see that I shall just insta die, which is part of the Easter egg. Not sure why it's a kill afterwards. I don't know if it's maybe because they couldn't find they haven't put a route in yet to get back, or it's intentional so it passes on the doll maybe. Although I think it does stay. I mean, Zach, Law, you can't see the doll on your persons, right? Oh, you're at
Nope.
3199.
Yep.
There's
Right.
our beautiful boy. 3199 has had some strange bugs. I'll tell you a really small one that we didn't even pick up on personally because it's so minute. But there's a eye animation glitch which might be on live. I don't think it is. And basically, when he's doing when he does, okay, I can't show you now. But when he does the animation,
Oh, sorry.
it's okay. No, it's not your fault. When he slams into a wall or tries to go
Gonna eat me.
when he tries to slam into a wall to kind of cause damage for the player, one of his right eyeball tends to get all really funky. Hello, you. Look at you there. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is another bug.
Run away! Run away! Run away!
Run away.
Run
She
away!
found one.
Oh, okay. That bug. Yeah. So you just saw it. There was a bug right there. For those of you looking at my screen, there's an issue with the size/zombies where if the host comes in to a client area when they've already killed the zombies, they will show in like either a T pose or their last animation state before they fell. We just saw that now when I tried to knife that dude and he despawned or de-rendered.
Interesting.
Yeah. We've had. Oh, go on.
So, do you have any idea what the cause of that is?
Regarding which, not 100%. That's more of a dev question, honestly. But the reproduction, as we know it, is to, like I say, run away. Oh, another one. Run away from the area. Damn, thick. Run away from the area and come back. Because again, it's kind of like the streaming thing, right? When you leave an area, you don't want the game to be rendering the whole thing all at once. And the same thing goes for AI. You don't really want to be calculating everything meticulously when you're away from the area. So all games, honestly, have to make some cuts in that regard. Oh, you got.
Oh, he's stuck. I
Oh,
got
he's stuck
in
on
him.
you.
Oh,
So, yeah,
snap!
there's another pathfinding bug.
New bug! New
Yep.
bug!
Yep.
Okay, so we might have sandwiched him, but assuming we didn't, because I don't think it was that. Yeah, the pathfinding can get, because obviously, you know, we can. Oh, okay, no, we can't. Yeah, okay, I am right. We can't go for each other as usual, and I don't think he can do the same. Oh, his little tail's wagging.
Yeah, I
Aw.
believe. It looked like the velocity when he went to go ramp up and charge me, he ended up shoving something. His head or something got stuck into me. So
Yeah.
he got locked in.
I mean, usually I put KFC in my mouth, but I think I'll skip this dinner. What happened? Oh, okay.
He disappeared.
Oh, okay. I've got no bullets, guys, by the way. Has anyone picked up a crowbar? Was there a crowbar in the earlier
Please
section?
have
One
a
of us has
gun.
one. Oh, there's ammo and stuff up here.
I got a gun now.
One of us should have a crowbar. I had one before, unless you had it and you shift Jade and maybe possibly lost it.
I think one of you died with it and it gave it to me. Ooh.
Okay, cool.
That'll be me.
Bad D class. Bad. Well, I mean, zombie D class, but still. I found 2 ammos here. I'm going to pick those up, guys.
Okay. I'm gonna turn
Okay,
this power
because we've
switch
got
on.
loads of ammo
Oh.
over here and stuff.
There we go. So
Yeah.
another bug, oh shit, another bug that just occurred
Sorry.
there. So the
Yeah.
ammo count is not showing. So when holding R to inspect the magazine, it's not showing at all. Oddly enough, this usually happens in tandem with
Running.
health. Yeah, this usually happens in tandem with the health missing, but in this in particular case, it's just the ammo system. So I'm not sure if that's fixed internally. It comes up kind of semi-rarely. We see it once every couple of runs or once every 3 runs. But we usually have the health disappear. That's one that's quite common. I think a lot of players have experienced that as well. It's an unfortunate one, just a small UI issue. It can be troublesome, but, you know, just one of those things. I picked up the last mag, by the way. Last box.
No problem.
Oh yeah, there's one here which if I stand here, oh, it's already dead. Damn it. Okay, no, don't worry. So when the enemies are in this area, they can hit you through the glass, which is quite
Yes,
funny.
I should have mentioned that before I actually killed him. But yeah, I just instinctively try to avoid it. You know.
Yeah. I mean, you guys seeing your magazines, by the way, just to confirm.
I do see mine. There seems to be a couple of issues I've noticed when it comes that are related to host only. Because during testing, I noticed there are even times that Laura didn't experience any of the UI issues that I did as a client.
Yeah. Oh, open up enemies there. Well, I heard them. I don't know if they can. I can't remember if they come through. No, you have to go through the door first, or near the door for it to trigger.
Grabbing a gas can.
Grabbing a gas can.
So when you guys are testing, generally do you like do it with like 3 or 4 players or 2 players? Like I guess do you need to like run the game with multiple, you know, like one with 1 player, one with 2 players, just to check for multiplayer bugs, or do you think it's like just fine to run it with 3 people?
So, with the current resources we have up until this week, we've been running on 1 to 3 players. When me and Zach first joined, when I first joined myself, it was purely solo, and then whenever I could kind of get the devs with me, you know, when they're free, we do it that way. When Zach joined the company shortly after me, we then had the ability to test 2 people. We do have our D-class testers who assist us in certain sessions to go over full lobbies, and we like to, you know, see how they handle the game, see how they play, give them a general kind of direction to go in, sort of thing, you know, for a particular chapter, things to look out for, and observe them. But yeah, right now as it stands, we currently do have 4 people we've just got, so the ideal range is to do on the minimum end solo gameplay and then 4-player test sessions. However, for the most part, we've mainly been dealing with 3-player test sessions. Obviously, I believe in covering all bases, so it's good to have 1, 2, 3, 4 sessions, like sessions of different player counts. This is so that we can check the balancing is correct. As I'm sure many of you are aware, sometimes the game feels a lot harder with more players because the balancing needs a little bit of tweaking. Yeah, it's again growing pains of a game, really, just growing pains. Oh, here's a fun little thing. Oh, you already activated it, damn it.
Oh,
So if you jump, oh, sorry, go on.
what were you going to show us? What new secret did you
Oh,
have to hold?
Not really, not a bug or anything, but just the way that AI works and with their hearing and their sight. Whenever the player runs over here and jump crouches over in that, like to this visible area, the enemies that spawn in that location come down and attack you. Nothing that
little
exciting. I just wanted to mention. I was going to get them to spawn down, but they already did.
Good little mini horde, yeah.
We've also had fun. Laura, could you please shoot this glass out, or then use the knife? Use the knife.
No.
Keep going. So yeah, here's a fun little bug. So there's a discrepancy between the host and the client regarding the glass. I believe, Laura, do you see on your screen the glass is still there, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this
Same
is.
here.
Is it still there now when I do this? It's still
Yeah.
there, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. It's the
But
same
it
as it
says
was.
bullet holes still.
Oh yeah. If you shoot it before you knock out the glass, this one might not work. I don't think it's cracked. Oh, okay. No, it is cracked. Just a little bit of a funky.
Oh God, I love this. This is like Inception. I go to like one person's screen, and then the glass is still there. Then I go to yours, and it's gone. And it's like, what is reality? What is true? So this is a really interesting thing. What do you think's causing it? Where like one player, the glass, it's Schrodinger's broken glass.
In a weird way, yeah. So it's a discrepancy between the clients and the host regarding what we call replication. So it means that over the network, something is kind of failing to send that little signal to me saying, hey, or sorry, amongst them saying, hey, the glass has been broken. Many of you watching probably experienced this in prior versions with the first drop down into the tunnel, where you have to break a glass pane to get through. That's probably the most noticeable spot, because I mean, a lot of players would just get confused and not know they can go through the glass, right? Because you see the braking effect, but you don't see the glass is broken. Oh, did you already do the valves? Is that both valves?
Yeah. Notice so you only really got to do the red valve, not the blue valve. And
no, that's
funny enough, I've noticed the animation on both valves don't work on the first hit. It's just the
both. So okay,
yeah.
Yeah, that's very funny you
So
say that.
what's
So
big pew-pew?
Riker deserves the big pew pew. He is the man with the
Yeah.
aim. Let's give it to him.
Oh, okay.
I believe in his competence compared to myself when it comes to aiming. Right? But yeah, regarding red and blue valve here, or I guess they're both red valves, but a red and blue pipe. The red one usually works in the first go from the versions that we've had our hands on more recently, but the blue one has always been the point of contention. There you go. Notice. Oh, actually, are the animations broken entirely? No. Okay, there you go. So there's some weird behavior. Well, that was even weirder than usual. What's going on there?
Ooh, is a new bug detected?
Yeah, I'm hearing an extra audio cue for the hissing. That doesn't usually happen.
Oh.
Huh. See, like I said, something new on every run. Whether it's an older build or a newer build, there is always something new. Something new. Damn, legit every time. So yeah, on the first go, the blue pipe doesn't typically animate, but in this case it is, and the audio is still playing, which is strange. I don't believe that's reproducible in the current ones we're working off of, but I will be probably scouring this stream after the fact and looking through my notes so we can tackle these if they're still present. Well, I don't believe many of them are.
So do you ever like
There you go. Nice one, team.
Do you ever have the feeling of like fearing that the game will be like oh man, it'll be so perfect, but then I'll be out of a job, or is always kind of exciting, like, ooh, what new animation will break for me today?
I mean, the last one, sure. I've never been worried about losing a job due to doing too good of a job. There's always going to be bugs, no matter what project you work on. I mean, heck, I said this before, but even Pong had bugs. Like every single game out there. I mean, Pac-Man, the most famous one people know about, the reaching level 256, and it breaks the game logic because 256 bits were the maximum at that time. Or rather, that was what was utilized in computing based on the processors, things like that. Oh, sorry. Again, like when I'm talking, I tend to just like autopilot, and I was looking for the valve, even though they've clearly done it. But yeah, there's a lot of satisfaction that comes from finding bugs, and there's never a fear of like, oh man, we're going to do too good of a job, so we're going to be out of a job. No, there's always going to be bugs. Whenever there's going to be updates, there's going to be bugs. It's just that it's a circle of life to do with the dev creation system, I suppose you'd say. The circle of creation. Oh, that's it.
Did we get the code for the storage?
Yo, this guy's
Not
having
yet.
problems.
We did not yet.
You have?
Nah, yeah, it's in here.
Not
No,
yet,
it's
no.
not yet.
Okay.
It's in this one.
So I guess you could say it's like the circle of software development, where there will always be bugs.
That's a nicer way to put it. Yeah. I'm gonna steal this health because I'm quite low. And the code is 1640. Law, please feel free to grab yourself. Oh, nice. They triggered the light breaking. I love the whole atmosphere, by the way, of the once you've done the valves and the water spraying down. It's quite nice.
Can you say the code again for me, please?
1640. Yeah, 1640. Back in 1640.
Ew.
Oh, there's the fun little
I got
tiny
an
bug.
MP7.
Oh, yeah, it's always an MP7 in that locker. I think they are going to randomize it. I find it funny how there's still like this little little keypad inside there. A minor bug, but just a little funny thing.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I don't know how many bullets I've got, so yeah, let's. That's gonna be fun.
It's always fun to add a little bit of, am I gonna have enough bullets to keep myself alive?
Yeah.
Oh my god! Apparently I won't.
Oh, you in trouble? You need us to come along quicker.
No, I just really surprised that that guy still alive.
Yeah, some of them do seem like they take. Oh, yeah, some of them seem like they take quite a few hits. I know the guard zombies have extra health compared to the others. I'm not sure by what margin. It's based on the fact that they have the body armor.
The armor, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Like a headshot will not always be an insta kill, but you will see the brains. I forgot about him. You will see the brains come out. By the way, I'm sure many of you know this, but this is the longest chapter in the game.
Oh,
quite a long chapter. My first.
Is it longer than chapter 3?
Oh yeah. Chapter 1 is about well, for the average player, I would imagine it's about 2 hours. For me, on the first go playing with Zach, I think we took, wasn't it 3 hours, Zach, and then we died right near the end.
Yep.
Like
yep.
that.
It was about 3 hours, and then we somehow got it down to just about 2 hours. I think maybe just under 2 hours. Forgot that last one.
I think our fastest one was 1 hour, and I don't want to lie here, but I feel like it was 1 hour and a half. It might have been, no, I want to say 1 hour 22 minutes. Do you remember on one of our end-to-end runs?
Yeah, because I think we were just trying to make sure functionality worked, checkpoints worked how they sort of, or not checkpoints, objectives.
And that's without cheats, mind you, so we were quite proud of that. I'm sure some players in the chat have done way faster, like someone's going to be like, well, you guys are crap, I took like 25 minutes.
Well, I like to think that yours is like the experience of like the average player. Tacit asks, how do you figure out what exactly is causing the bug? Like, where are the code / files you need to look in order to fix it? Or is that a problem for programmers and not QA?
Yeah, it's more of a dev thing. So you do typically, so you would have usually inside. All right, so again, every company's a little bit different. Everyone's got their own little quirks in the way they do the hierarchy. A lot of companies would have a QA engineer, which is somebody who is more technical. Oh, there's a fun little one there. you'd have somebody who is technically inclined with programming and QA, and that would be a QA engineer. And they typically just bridge that gap between a standard QA and, you know, like a developer. That if I was a QA engineer, I'd be able to answer that. Unfortunately, I am not. I'm still in the learning process to understand Unreal and the language is used. Sorry, 1 second. Laura, how far are you? Okay, I'm going to take this health. So yeah, no, it's mainly a developer question, or typically it would be a QA engineer question. By the way, this is a funny little one as well, or not funny, but just like interesting to me, I suppose. This door, you used to be able to not open it, especially in single player. And this is because the green key card did not carry over, so it would be a usable item. So you'd use the green key card early on in the mission, and boom, that was it. You would not be able to access this area. But now you are able to access it, which is the correct way it should go. And you can use their hi-fi system to listen to cool tunes. Next update, I promise.
So here's a question though. I'm kind of curious. Since you don't have a Q&A engineer, how does a scrappy little team like a Fray handle that and sort of coordinate and deal with that?
So QA, so the developers push an update to us. Oh, hold on. Oh, sorry, I brain farted and thought that was one of the switches. It is the maintenance switch, not the shootable switch. Sorry, repeat the question for me.
So you're saying that like typically there would be like a Q&A engineer who could like kind of like bridge the gap between devs and Q&A. Afraid does not quite have that because we're not the size. You know, we're a scrappy company. So I guess how do we navigate not having that sort of bridge? How do you guys interact with people like Al Barney when you find like something neat and he figures out what's going wrong in Unreal, where like the Windows isn't syncing, or that weird thing with that you just showed us with the that billboard that was supposed to be on?
So, first of all, I just want to say Albani's a bloody genius. He shocks me every time I talk to him in one way or another. I'm not just saying that because he's technically my boss. He really is a phenomenon of a human being. I love him. But yeah, no. So the devs would push in our situation at Fray without a QA engineer, which again, not every company has a QA engineer. It really is kind of subjective to the project in a way and the structure they want to go for. But in our situation, the devs will push an update that will go into an internal build that QA work off of. Also, sorry guys, come near me when you're ready because I'm at the maintenance.
I was waiting. Yeah.
I just don't want to get killed while I'm talking.
No, I got you.
So a build goes out. QA will then have a look at that. If there's, you know, the devs will give us a little heads up on changes they've made, fixes they've made. We've got our own proprietary bug system where we do, you know, check our pending testing bugs and whatnot. But in regards to bugs that we find, so for example, hold on, let me just open this. Guys, get to cover because these guards are going to be arseholes. So like the glass replication issue. I'll pull these out. Yeah, I'll let you guys shoot while I just talk because I'm not good at playing and talking at the same time. Just haven't got the brain capacity for it right now. It's late as hell. Yeah,
I got you.
We would go through the reproduction steps. So QA, for example, regarding the glass issue, we would get all the information for that we can. We have our own structure on reproducing it. So that will be a summary, a step-by-step, play-by-play of how to reproduce the bug. And on top of that, we would also give any supplementary information such as logs, or like screenshots, video footage. It really is, again, depends on the bug, right? Depends on what's necessary to get the information across. Once that information filters through our ticket system, the developers can see that as what they call a bug card, and they will decide from there how to handle it. If they need more, if they haven't got enough information from QA as we've provided it, they'll reach out to us and be like, hey, you know, or they'll send it back or reach out and be like, hey, we need a little bit more information for this. Could you provide maybe a log or extra context, or maybe whittle down the steps a little bit because, you know, it's not specific enough. And then yeah, that's kind of the cycle generally speaking. It'll either go back to us or they'll fix it and then send out a new build with a new the bug will come back to us as a pending testing. So QA then tackle that when they can on the next build that applies with the version they've provided.
Along those lines, Tacit asks, when reporting bugs, what's the most helpful way for an average person to do so? Like screenshots, videos, super detailed descriptions. How do we help you fix these issues? Oh my God, the Helldiver spirit of super democracy. How can you join the fight against the bugs of SCP-5K? These intrepid soldiers want to become bug hunters like you, wonderful specimens of bug hunting glory. What can they do? What can these amateur people do? What is the best way that they can help Super Earth or Super Affray or Super SCP-5K?
So if you guys want to help us out, what you've been doing is fine. I would say if you want some tips on how to construct your bugs, giving us a step-by-step of what you did leading up to the issue is very helpful. It's never something we're going to be like, why'd you do that? You know, it's always going to help. Screenshots are, I would say, a must depending on the issue. I mean, the best way to look at it, in a really simplified way, right, is... you know, when you're you've got your own perspective of the bug that you've experienced, but imagine you're now telling somebody who's not technically inclined. Now, obviously, that seems like a bit of a silly thing to say, right? Because we handle things QA and we're relatively technical, and then obviously the developers are very technical within their own right. But the easier it is to explain and understand, and especially in as concise of a manner as you can provide, the better. Although, having said that, if I had to choose, I'd rather it was too wordy than not wordy enough. If you're somebody that struggles with being concise, which I sometimes myself do, it's always better to provide more information than less, as long as that information is in fact pertinent to the issue you've experienced. Now, we don't expect community members to go out of their way to, like, you know, repeatedly reproduce a bug to give us the information. It is appreciated, but obviously, you know, that's what we're here for. We don't want to put that on you guys because, you know, that's why we're paid, right? But for those of you who do want to help, yeah, don't worry about giving us like super ridiculous amount of detail in reproduction. Just give us what you can, and we'll reach out if we need more, or we'll try and do the rest. Oh, sorry, 1 second. Did I just see? Yeah, there you go. Look, the wall is the floor now. I don't know if you can see that on my stream. There's like droplets that are happening on the wall instead.
Yes, that happens on the doors as well.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Is it on the shutter? I think it's on the shutter sometimes.
Possibly.
Or is it? You mean the? Oh, okay, yeah.
The double doors that usually open. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope that answers the question, though. I do apologise if I'm a bit scatterbrained. It is late here, and again, I'm bad at playing and talking. But, yeah, no, you guys are doing great regarding what you give us. There are, of course, a couple times where I think I've had to message and be like, you know, could you be a bit more specific? But overall, people are usually pretty good. They give us just enough information so that we can start investigating. We don't want people to have to go the extra mile. We want you to enjoy the game and play it, not bug hunt. Although, you know, we do appreciate the bug hunters out there who like helping us. I mean, you know, you're doing a great service for Super Earth, and we appreciate that very much.
Moby Brick had this little write-up that I couldn't help but read out loud. No matter whether an arthropod or a software construct, no bug shall go unsquashed when the just boot of democracy comes through.
Yes, exactly. We'll serve them a cup of liberty. That's how we roll. Hold on.
Well, the funniest thing is that, like, if Affray was especially lazy, we could just say, you know, oh, it's actually a new SCP that you're experiencing, and all the bugs are in canon.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, earlier on within Raid on Axiom, when you saw the guns like changing out for the pistol randomly and disappearing, that was a feature. It's not a bug. You're crazy. That's an SCP. We've implemented it. It's SCP 0451. Yes, that's exactly the one. No, but yeah, no.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. I think you might be lying.
No, I appear to be lost.
You're lost?
Oh.
Which season are you
I can't find you.
Okay, we're gonna come back down to you.
Okay.
I'm just
You know
gonna
what?
wait at the generator.
Oh, no, we're coming to you. We need to go to the generator anyway.
Ages ago, do you remember the glory days of G4 back when it was still on television?
Oh, I knew of G4. I never actually watched it personally, unfortunately.
I mean, you're probably better off for it.
stuff back there.
I have a lot of fond memories of G4, but it was basically like video game public access television. So it's had a certain charm, but like during G4, they would have all the most obnoxious commercials, and one of them would either be for like DeVry or Full Sail, and be like, "Learn how to make video games," and they'd have these like two guys just sitting with controllers in front of it, and now I'm gonna put in the Zowie Powie sound effects. Oh my God, isn't making games the greatest? Go apply to DeVry now, just for the hell of it. I think I'm gonna track down that commercial and send it to you privately, just so I could see how much that experience compares to the real thing.
No, yeah, please do. Please, that'd be interesting. Oh, I still have a gas can. Nice. I mean, I don't need it, but you know, it's nice. Yeah, no, so okay, you're telling me that G4 wasn't that great, but I suppose it has a nostalgic charm, right?
I enjoyed it because, like, to me, it was like the better shows on it. Kind of felt like let's put on a thing, let's do these like kind of like low budget skits that we know are kind of low budget, but they're like nerd insider computer jokes that half the novelty is like, oh my God, they're doing this on cable television. They get me. I feel seen for real. That was kind of the appeal of G4 back in the day before they imploded and then came back and imploded a second time. But I don't know if it would be worth revisiting for someone like you outside of curiosity, but those commercials just reminded me of it.
No, I'd love to see it, honestly. I remember there was a YouTuber I like who did years ago one of the small like contest things for G4. I want to say it might be Ding Dong, one of the Only Plays crew, if I'm remembering correctly. But no, I'll have to look that up after the session. By the way, sorry, small talking point. Without spoiling anything, our level designers are working very hard on certain things, wink wink, and from what we've experienced, there's some nice stuff happening in these areas, which is going to be a nice little revamp that we really enjoyed, and we feel like the community is going to really enjoy as well. But I shan't say any more than that. You'll have to torture me to get more.
Oh my God! Ooh, exclusive details.
Yes. Oh, by the way, another fun little thing that happens in many games is, and I don't know. So there's different reasons it can occur. Oh Jesus! 1 second. There are different reasons it can occur, but missing collision on objects, which I'm sure you're all familiar with if you've played any game ever that's 3D, and heck, even maybe 2D, like anything that has collision in it, which is pretty much everything. Things like these trucks at one stage did not have collision, which is quite funny. So you could just run through them, and then there'd be no consequence, nothing to stop you. And loads of games have this issue, especially VR. VR is one of the hardest things for programmers to circumvent things like putting your head through objects. Like it's hard enough for developers in projects like this, getting it just right to where it won't clip into anything. But in VR, because you have the freedom of movement. Oh, do you guys need mags? Anyone want the last mag? I don't know how much I've got, so I'll just risk it.
I don't really have
Oh my God.
much ammo, but I'm willing to share.
Hey, you have. Go on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, with VR, it's a tremendous challenge. I mean, Bethesda, or not Bethesda, but the company that did the port of Fallout 4 for VR, I believe they had some struggles in the early patch. I mean, with many things, mind you, because it's VR, but also with the collision of things. Like, those of you who have played Fallout 4, you know how in the first area you start off in at I think it's the vault location, there's like a cryolator weapon, cryolator or something like that. And in VR, you can just put your head through the glass and just take it. You can just have that. You don't have to give a goddamn anything. You just grab
Forgot about that.
Yeah, you just take it. So okay, stealth.
Oh, yep.
Semper Fi, boys.
If anyone can see a gun or anything, let me know.
There's
should be a gun up
MP5 here. You can have it. I'm gonna take one of. Oh, actually, you guys should take the ammo. You guys take the ammo, unless you've got
take
loads.
one. I do not have.
So look. No.
Okay, you grab that. I'll be the backup. I think we're either going to be facing guards in a second, or we're going to be facing resonators. Typically, the resonators win the battle. Yeah, there we go. I heard a resonator. Hello, doggy. Oh no! Oh, what the hell? I heard the resonator. Oh, nice one.
Oh, there he is.
Run!
2, 3.
Yeah,
There's 3.
If there's one skill in this game you need to master as soon as possible, it's running. Nice.
Woo,
Yeah, running
that's
is one of the
crazy.
best skills in this game to have.
Damn.
I want to just grab his hand. Hi there. Goodbye. Yeah, we've had some fun little bugs regarding this area as well. Or, if sorry, I don't know if I technically would class that as a bug, but we had some issues where there were some trigger volumes that popped up, which spawned more enemies than usual, like extra resonators, and that was a fun experience. We were in the middle of a
Oh
long
yeah.
haul of a session, quite a long one, and I turned that corner and just got obliterated like so fast, so fast. I'm gonna take some of these mags. I don't know how many I can take, so I'll take like 4, and that'll be
Oh,
me
there's some
done.
ammo boxes over here as well.
I'll save it till after the fray. After the affray?
Oh, very, very
Man, you're
clever.
terrible.
Uh,
You should ban me from the server for that one.
do you ever like feel like
6043.
bug anxiety about like you've been playing the game for 2 hours, you haven't found anything. It's like, oh god dang it, I can't, mom and dad, I can't tell them I'm playing video games all the time. I have to produce a bug.
Okay, in previous projects maybe. In this project I haven't experienced that yet. Like I said, there's always something that comes up on a new run. Oh god,
Running.
practically yeah,
Got
practically.
him.
Got him. Practically of every run there is something new, or every other run, so we're not usually stuck that long before we figure out something new. However, actually, having said that, Antarctica is probably our most solid. I mean, personally, in my opinion, it's the most solid in our current internal build. Really, just not many
okay.
issues, thankfully. So that's a plus.
Really? So
guys dead?
you don't get any
Wait,
weird
wait,
like
wait.
spawning issues like you have in other maps or other things, weird things that happen?
We have had a couple spawning issues, but it's not as prevalent as if I had to say the general amount of bugs per chapter or per game mode, etc. I'd say Antarctica feels like one of the most solid. Um, Wave survival does feel relatively solid, and I say relatively. We don't pay much focus to the testing maps, as you can imagine, because they're more about the main bulk of the content. I mean, of course, Area 12 is what people are here for, right? And we want to make sure that is the shining beacon of the game, as it were. You know, the thing that you're going to have the most fun with. And heck, I mean, we personally, I mean, I don't want to speak on these guys' behalf, although they have already told me this themselves. Hopefully, not just to keep the job, but we are quite fans of the project. I'm not overly good with the SCP lore, but when I was younger and Containment Breach first came out, I loved playing it. It was such a fun experience. But yeah, there's so much that's been added since then, like in terms of the community wiki and whatnot, which lead. Oh, sorry, 1 second. Yeah, overall SCP is great. That's my point, and I'm quite fond of this project, and I've been quite fond of other companies' projects and adaptations of the SCP universe.
Well, it's glad to see you. Love to see the
Scares the
universe
heck out of me.
grow and expand. I guess here's speaking of SCPs. Which one is your favorite in the game, and which one's your least favorite? And also, which one has been giving you the most difficulty in terms of bugs and design, and which one has been the easiest to deal with?
So, okay, 1 second. Let me come out of the fray here. You guys good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. So most difficult to deal with, I want to say. I'm going to say that technically guards and D-class. I mean, they're both the most difficult and the most problematic in terms of what can happen with the AI for them.
So good. They're good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're really
Ghost
good
chair.
at what they do.
Oh,
We got ghost chair back, guys.
all
We love
right.
this one.
We have containment breach. Containment breach. We have ghost chair. So explain us the ghost chair. What makes ghost chair spawn? With the bug hunters have done it again. They found another bug.
So do you know what? Funny enough, this is one that even we've heard internally that this is an issue that can occur at random to do with the builds that come out. So whenever a build machine pushes out a new build as it's instructed to by whoever is initiating it, there are often these tiny little issues that can occur in the maps, right? And I'm not super technical or savvy about it, but I do know that this is something that comes on and off. It happens or doesn't happen from build to build. I do believe in the latest version, these specific chairs that have
Right
the
here.
issue of being removed, This one, oh, is that one actually popped out for me? So this indicates to me this might be an LOD specific problem, is what I would say, and that's basically for those of you who are unfamiliar with that term, it's the level of detail of the chair. Depending on the distance you're at. So games can't render things at the same fidelity constantly. Like all these details here with the curve, you see the individual polys going there, the little indice points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to make that curve. Games can't retain that quality through and through. I mean, though they can, but it would lead to a very, very poor performing experience, right? So the further away you get from an object, typically it will swap out the level of detail. Now, years ago, when development was in more of the early stages, in terms of the games industry, they didn't have this. So you just had, and I guess the issue, it wasn't as much of an issue with the hardware they had at the time, right? But it's been an issue for a long time trying to change level of detail. The first example I can think of is Halo 2, where I first remember seeing it. Halo 2 is a great game for that. They managed to get some higher fidelity graphics in there because they used this method of lowering the poly count, lowering the textures at a distance, and it used to be done manually. So years ago in the industry, you'd manually have to change the model's vertices, indices to make it like a lower quality but still look good. But nowadays, there are loads of tools available or rather built into many engines where you can just literally say to it, hey, change the poly count to this, and then they just observe it and make sure it looks good after the fact.
Yeah.
Oh no! Laura, run back! Ah, no! Ammo out.
Really good explanation. Because you're right. I do remember Halo noticing, especially in like 4-player co-op, how things would look much worse, or like the further away you got from it, but it still functioned, and that's all that mattered. I don't know if you'd be able to give me this insight, but do you have any idea why, as the consoles get more powerful, more fully featured, the Halo games seem to get worse and worse, and we get less and less for them?
Do you know what? For me, I always assumed it was like the nostalgia, because you think back to Halo 2 and you're like, oh, it's an amazing looking game, and then you look at it now and you're like, oh, well, it looks good for its time, but you can see the age, right? Like Halo 3, I thought Halo 3 was the best looking game you could possibly get years ago, and looking back at it now, it's still a very pretty game, but you compare it to like newer titles, heck, even SCP-5K, the graphics in this game are pretty darn good. The one thing they really, just a little side thing there, tangent. The one thing they really nailed in Halo 3 was the glossiness of the metal regarding the Spartans. I think most of the graphics was put into the Spartans. I mean, it just looks so good in multiplayer. I've always thought that. Also, real pixels, actual pixels on the screen. Well done, Affray. That is a genuinely amazing little bit of detail there. I love games that do this because it really does lend credence to the reality of it. Like seeing individual pixels. I just love.
I just noticed something. Go back in that room, or actually stay out there.
No, another.
Keep looking down. Yeah, look down that corridor. I think your laser's going through the wall.
Oh, is it when I look at the?
Oh my God! The bug hunter's done it again.
Yeah. Yeah. Go back to the other side.
Left or right?
Oh no, to the other side of where I was at, there.
Oh yeah.
It might have been. It might have just been clipping through it.
It's there. Is it the monitor you're at, or are you just close?
I'm at the monitor. Well, okay. How about now? Do you see it still?
Don't see it now. Go closer. So it's probably because you're close enough to the wall where it's clipping through, and the ray casting, which is used for the laser, I would imagine is because you're so close to it, it's pushing it through, and it goes through the exterior wall because again, it's coming from the inside, not the outside.
Makes sense. Okay.
At least that's my guess. Again, if any devs are watching from Affray, please put me in my place and tell me in the chat that I'm wrong.
We do have one Affray developer, good old who was here last time, Anders, but he is being silent. But Anders, if you want to pipe in, add some technical knowledge. I know you're a wonderful 3D artist, and the technical questions may not be up to your spill, but if you want to add into the more technical things that these wonderful people of the Bug Busters are encountering, I'd love to hear from you. But if you want to chill, you can also just do that as well. Both the options are viable.
Yeah, we're not gonna force you. I mean, we might, but I'm kidding.
But what I meant is like that was a good observation. You're right. Some of the graphics in Halo, when you look back and they're like, oh, this doesn't look like the best thing ever. Because like even in 2007, I thought Gears of War looked better than Halo 3. But Halo 3, did more than Gears of War because you could ride around in the vehicles and in more expansive environments. But I was talking about how like Halo 3, the movie maker came out of the box. The whatchamacallit, what was that mode everyone loved? You could have like 4 people online and you could have split screen co-op. But god dang it, they kept on taking more and more features. Like Halo 5 launched without split screen. They said that they would have it in Halo Infinite, but they didn't.
You just killed yourself with the door.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. And yes, I just accidentally suicided. Damn it! I had ammo. Here's a great bug to discuss straight away.
Ooh, all right, we've got a bug.
People are really. Yep. Sorry, I'm sure a lot of people hate this one, and of course we all apologise for this one, really. But the ammo system is still being worked on, and this means that, I'm sure anyone who's played this game has picked up on, if you die and you do manage to pick up your gun, which will be the last one you was holding in its current state, which may be changed in the future. Wink, wink. Oh, baby forklift. Yeah, you will only have 1 magazine. Now, I can't display that right now, unfortunately, because we have another bug going at the same time on the live branch, which prevents me from viewing it. But if you could see my ammo, you could see that if I, for example... Oh, I've got no bullets. So yeah, I'm pressing R, and I'm unable to reload. And, it's not playing the inspection either. So there you go. We got like a triple threat going on there.
Oh my god! I guess waiting to be patched on the next pitch. Oh, Anders also said, "Hi, the laser. I'm not sure how it works. That's a question for Alberni. Something tells me Alberni is the wonder kid who's like probably the. Well, we're planning. Alberni's going to do his first session very soon. Just got to nail down a time and date and figure out what he's going to be covering. But I'm very excited for that since there's so many different things he could be doing or talking about and showing off. Yeah, you guys are excited. Albarni Q&A. Wild Albarni. I love the enthusiasm.
Great. I'm definitely. I mean, I usually try and tune into these events, but I'm definitely going to tune in for Albani's. Don't get me wrong; all of our team are amazing, especially with the programmers. They're all amazing. I don't want to like say anyone's better than the other. They're all great people. They've all got their strengths, and but Albani is a prodigy. Hey guys, sorry, would you mind running back into that room for a minute? I just want to showcase. I think you know what I'm going to do, right? Yeah, you know what I'm about to do.
Yeah, I got you.
So this isn't a bug, but it's just something I like to do in this run. So. With Mr. Hansy over here. Here we go.
Mr. Snappy Necks.
Mr. Snappy Necks. He's so pretty. I love the rebar on him. It's such a nice little detail.
Right.
He is hard as concrete in the literal sense. Woo! So as he goes to attack me, or rather follow me from afar, and I mean, again, lots of players probably do this, so I'm sure it's nothing special, but I just love doing it. Gonna come out here. Oh boy. Hello, love. Look at you, tall boy, 7-footer, isn't he? Right, so I'm gonna lock him in.
Spooky system.
He's just gonna run around there.
He's just gonna like go. Is that what he does? He just goes berserk when you've got him locked in there.
Yeah, he doesn't like it. He doesn't like being He likes to play. You know, he's a real team player. Look at him go. Oh God. I'm half expecting him to do like the Big Bird meme where like he kicks down the door.
Kool-Aid Man. Maybe that's a new.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh no.
Oh, did you get him out?
Oh yeah. Sorry, I got him out there. He's good. You can come along.
Oh, okay. All right, we're going. Where are you going?
God, I love
Patient, Aaron.
I know. I'm terrible. I'm just a speedy boy. I just can't help it. Oh, the hand animations are always fun, by the way. Hey, Zach, why don't you show us your knife skills?
Oh, yeah, okay. Wow.
He is a true ninja. If he doesn't get you with the blade, he'll knock you out of his fist. Look at that. Look, doesn't even have... Joints aren't even a thing for this man.
So is that an animation bug? Is that intentional?
It is an animation bug. I think it's to do with the fact that, and again, Anders probably is a better person to ask this one to. Funny enough, but I believe it's to do with the like dynamic animations. They kind of so you have set animations usually in game development, as far as I understand them. And oh, 1 minute. Oh, okay. No, we don't have to press the button yet. Sorry, brain fart. Yeah, animations usually are, or at least they used to be years ago, like fully set. But nowadays you have dynamic animations, and that's where you kind of. Oh, sorry. 1 second. With dynamic animation, you can have something transition between one and another animation, or even use a little bit of variance like ragdoll. And again, I'm probably explaining this very, very poorly. Anders, please don't murder me. I know I'm doing a bad job at it, but that's just how I understand it. Mind you, the animations in this game. Oh god. Oh, I went through the wall. That's a fun one. Only a tiny little bit though. So yeah, like I said earlier about the head clipping, sometimes in many games it's very hard to get head clipping fully correct. Like a lot of games use like a capsule around the player. So if any of you have used Unity or Unreal, you're probably familiar with the whole capsule concept. It's like a bit of collision or basic geometry to represent a player, or like an object that's moving through a nav mesh or whatever you happen to use it for. But most people use it for player models, and it works great because it allows you to keep the head from going into walls, but it doesn't always work. Especially depending on how you do head movement. You know, if you allow, watch out, if you allow variations in where the head goes, like forward in front of the body as opposed to directly down, this can cause issues. So a lot of developers have to kind of balance that fine line.
It's kind of terrifying.
I don't know how much ammo I've got.
Anders' response, ha ha ha, this is correct. The fix is to make true 3P animations for melee weapons. The procedural animation works well for guns, but with large movements like swinging the knife makes the arms go crazy. I honestly now I kind of want to get as many people there. One thing I want to do soon is I want to do another 32 player server event where you just have 32 people running around, and I'll see if I can get 32 people to have like their knives out and then just have like a dance party.
Do you know, that would be a great post. That would be a great social media post. I think that would be great.
Oh yeah,
we could do that.
Oh yeah.
But the servers do get. So I've never tested a server that big, right? But I know that there can be issues with 5 players in a server, and I can only imagine the chaos when you go up to 32. I don't think there is a limit currently. I could be wrong. If anyone wants to correct me on that, please feel free to in the chat. But yeah, as far as I'm aware, there is no hard set limit yet. So if you want to host a chapter 1, 2, or 3 with like 50 players. Just be warned, it might work, but how well it works is really the question. You know, how much fun do you plan on having with the game or the bugs? That's where you want to.
I got him.
Sorry.
I'll keep an eye on him.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Do you want to come my way and just slowly make your way around to the truck? I'll go last. Laura, follow Zach. I'll keep eyes on Mr. Handsy, Mr. Snappy Necks. You know, it's funny, whenever I tell them I'm going to look at him, I somehow always screw it up and look away because I'm like, oh, I want to look at that radio quick. I love the fact he can move when you're looking behind like really thin geometry. Sometimes, maybe not in this specific instance, but sometimes just going close enough to hear, he can move. There you go. He can move even with that tiny bit. I love that. It's very well done.
We can move forward.
Right, I'm coming to you guys now. I've almost mastered how to go backwards through this area of the map.
This is the same area we just came back from. It's just kind of loops in a big circle because we got to hit the breakers.
Bye-bye.
Guys, I hear him.
I see him. He's good. We're good.
Has the legendary
coming to you now though, so keep backwards.
Has the legendary 173B given you the most trouble in terms of bugs? Because he is a unique boy in terms of game design.
Funny enough, no. He's been pretty solid since we've all joined. For me, like I said earlier, it's probably in terms of difficulty and in terms of bugs, it would be the guards and D class. Just because we've had the most issues regarding like the navigation, the pathfinding, as it were, and their ability to lock on. There is sometimes, and again, this happens to loads of games I've seen personally, not just professionally, but on a personal level. During certain updates, enemies will just like, for example, say I'm a guard and Zachary's the person I'm aiming at. He'll just kind of look at him and go freeze, and start shooting at a wall as if there's someone in the vents, like Alien or something. So yeah, these are little quirks that happen now and then, and these are recurring issues. We obviously do try and get them all sorted out before each release, but they do seem to crop back up now and then. Sometimes it can be as simple as a tick box, you know, like in the engine. Sometimes it really can just be that simple. Sometimes it's way more convoluted, and the devs have to go through quite a lot of hoops to solve it. And again, don't take my answer as concrete. I am not a developer. That's just my stab at it from my understanding. Watch Albie come in and go, "Oh, yuppie, I'm sick of you getting it wrong."
Well, he'll do it in like that very polite, Australian accent. Well, that's not
Yeah,
quite
yeah.
right. I can't do it. I'm terrible at accents, but I do think he is a very unique one.
No, Oh yeah, I love the Australian accent. If anyone's watched Smiling Friends of like Michael Cusack, we're all a big fan of that. And Michael Cusack is an Australian person with a very lovely voice. Albie's got a lovely voice as well, frankly. I think most people that have an Aussie accent just it flows really well. I prefer it to English, honestly. Like
Or New
when Black-
Zealand.
or New Zealand, yeah. Like, the Aussie and New Zealand accent is quite unique, and I like it. It's got a nice bit of like tongue work involved when you're doing the accent. Now, I'm not like a native, so I'm butchering it probably, but this is just my stab at it, as it were. Guys, I'm gonna try and take out these little critters over here, like a regular Steve Irwin. I miss Steve Irwin, by the way. God damn.
Oh,
Me
he was the
too.
best.
When I was a kid,
And his
he
son.
was so good.
His son is basically a carbon copy.
Is he really?
Oh yeah,
Oh man, bless. He was a legend. He was a legend.
Let's just hope his son doesn't.
Look at this 50. Go on.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, let's just hope his son doesn't piss off any stingrays.
Right? Yeah.
Oh,
I imagine
yeah.
if Steve Irwin was here right
Yeah.
now, he'd see this SCP and be like, "Crikey, this is a common SCP. Oh God, what's the number again for the crab? 098. We got a 098 over here, and now he's dangerous. He's got giant claws. He's got giant rippers right there. But I'm gonna jump on him." that is the kind of shit Steve Irwin would do. He'd just be like, "I'm gonna wrestle him. Like, just take him out."
You just made me think of the South Park version.
Oh yeah. Wait, which one? The Satan's Party, where he's like, "You can't."
No, the other one. There was one where I think it was when he was still alive. I forgot the premise of the episode. He kept wanting to shove his thumb up everything's butthole.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, South Park's crazy. Matt and Trey are very creative fellows.
I'm
Pray
sure.
and pray, boys.
I don't know if you saw the most recent special, but they had a really funny bit where they had a whole song about navigating the American healthcare system. Navigating.
Yes.
Yes,
We
yes.
actually, me
Yeah.
and Zach watched that. Me, Laura, and Zach actually had a watch party for that. A little private shindig for it, and we loved it. Loved it. It was so good. I loved the way they poked fun at it. It was really well done, especially that bit when they were like about to go in the back of the van for their shipment, and it was that same bloody insurance guy.
Poor guy.
And it's just like-
God,
it-
you're gonna have to
Just gonna
navigate
have-
Shorter for anyone, or like, did that seem shorter this time?
The
The Horde?
I think the
Oh.
difficulty was balanced before the live one went out. I'm pretty sure. I'm
Yeah.
pretty
Oh,
confident. 'cause
okay.
Remember back when it was like really bad just before the last release? Or no, I think it was 014.1. It might have been 014. Not 014.
That-
Sorry, you know what I mean. The hot fix.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Absolute chaos.
From YouTube, we have Mark Killer G11. He says, "I have seen bugs encountered so far. The first chapter in the elevator, we left one teammate, and the elevator just bugged. If all players together, no bug." So, what do you say about that interesting elevator that seems to be causing people trouble? I think it's in chapter 3. The elevator is, or am I mistaken? And it was put in chapter 1.
Yeah.
Two of them. So chapter 3, there is an elevator. 2 elevators. Is there 2 elevators in chapter 3, or am I thinking of chapter 1? Might be chapter 1. I think this is the one that has 2 elevators. But either way, one of them has 2, one has 1, and all the elevators have had similar issues at one point or another. Oh no, there is 2 in chapter 3. Sorry, the very ending where you complete. I believe you're referring to the issue where a player will kind of be stuck. So say if you're at the top of the elevator and then all the players want to go down, while the player is on the elevator, they see themselves as, say, at the very top, but really they are at the bottom. So whenever they're in the elevator area, they'll be spawned at the top of where the elevator is, and that's what they'll see. But then when they leave the elevator, suddenly they're in the correct position. If that's the one you're referring to, yes, that has been a thorn in our side many times. It is fixed as of now. Oh, I say most of the issues relating to it are fixed right now. Hold on, I'm just remembering something here. I swear there's something funny here, but I won't be able to see it without cheating. I won't ruin it, but any of you who want to go in that water and take a look around, you'll find something fun.
Oh.
I want people to experience it organically. Like, it's not even that big of a thing, but it makes me personally giggle every time.
No, I got you.
Is there a shark? Is there a shark in it?
Primary.
No, it's a. Do you know what? Screw it. I'll show them. I mean, hell, it does.
No problem.
Just because we're so
And
close
you
to
all
the
want
end right
crab
now.
for dinner?
A little bit of crap. 098. So
For dinner?
we have a giant pickle.
What is the pickle doing?
Giant pickle.
Is it just like Pickle
right.
Rick? Oh my God, I'm Pickle Rick. I'm in SCP.
Morty, I'm Pickle Rick. Morty, I'm an SCP. Morty. Punchy Rick. Oh. You know what? I save that question for Albani. I think he will have the best answer, as I believe he is the man who. Whoa! Did you see that?
What is
Wait,
going
I
on
don't
there?
see an animation
Is
like
is that a new glitch of the,
No, I see him.
or is that just a cool piece of animation that's supposed to be there?
Oh, I think that might be a bit of a bug there. Thank you, Tom. I do believe we're looking at a bug right now.
All right.
Yeah,
Is
that's
it?
So
It's him reacting,
basically-
right?
No, not reacting. If you stop smacking him, he's wobbling. Watch the animation play. So there you go. He has a wobble in his.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
he
noticed
just
it. Yeah, just
drill.
now. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what?
Interesting.
I've never seen that one before from observing these guys, so that's new. And again, Anders might be able to chime in with this, but I do believe that that I don't think that's actually dynamic. I think that specific issue looks like it's something from the set animation, but I could be wrong because I'm imagining these are dynamic with the movements because they obviously target players. But then you have the specific little convulsions they make, which are, I imagine, hand animated. It does look good though. I mean, beyond that little glitchy bit there, they do look really good. They're quite freakish. I love the fact that from a design aspect, from when I first played, I love the fact these are kind of a pre-warning to what you're about to experience. So the player's like, oh, they're going to kill me? No, they're harmless. Okay, that's strange. And you come around this corner, and then you see the grown-up versions of spikes, and it's like, oh, okay, we were being given a prelude to from baby to adult, right?
Yeah, you had a little bit of a warning.
Exactly.
Got
Oh,
this.
here's another fun one. Yeah, LOD, I believe this is, where, funny enough, we had this bug before, but
Yeah,
it
it
was at a
came back,
different
right?
distance. Yeah, it's at a different distance. We used to have it from here, where it would come in and out, and in this specific instance, it's right close up. Haha! I'm invincible now.
So, just out of curiosity, what has caused so much clipping in the 3D era? Because that feels like in all console generations, ever since we moved from pixels to polygons, there was always clipping in 3D games. Why is that? Will we ever develop something that doesn't have clipping?
So there are, and again, totally just a stab at it here from my limited knowledge on the subject. But you mean like head clipping, right? Or do you mean clipping of general items? So
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like putting your obviously that's not game breaking, but it's immersion breaking. But or like there, where you've got like the D class head or your weapon clipping into the pipe. I mean, that's something you could see even in like a AAA game. You know, if you put your object too far, it'll go through. How have we not solved that as a gaming collective?
So there is and again, there's probably a developer that can answer better than me. But from my, I'm going to take a stab at it. From what I understand, growing up and seeing games and speaking to people in industry, it seems to be that there are ways to solve it. But the problem is the ways that solve it take up a lot more performance because you basically have to run collision checks constantly. Like, for example, there's a little bit of a check. There's a little bit of a check going on here where, for the sake of making for the sake of realism, when I have a pistol out, right, there's a certain length to the gun. The closer I get to the wall, the more the pistol goes in. If they
Uh,
hard code it so that the pistol stops against the wall, this is going to be a problem, right? Because I can't get close to the wall. It's going to just physically stop me right here. Yeah. But the way they do it is, again, you have this animation piece that plays out where it detects how close it is, gets to a certain point, and then it just goes in. However, like we're seeing here, at certain angles, it just goes through. There's too many checks to be made to make sure this never happens, and that's pretty much the reason why it's never really solved. Doing collision checks is quite taxing. I remember back in college working on 2D Flash projects and being taught how to do Pythagoras theorem and square box bounds and whatnot, and doing it from just like, you know what I mean, like 4 points and calculating from the A1, A2, A3, A4. A lot of boring stuff, but the long story short is, yeah, collision is taxing. There are ways that they make it more performant, but it's always going to it's always going to have a hit on performance. And at the end of the day, what would you rather have? Zero clipping or zero clipping, but the game runs at 5 FPS on great hardware, or would you rather have that little annoying bit of clipping but have a 60 FPS or 144 FPS experience? I think most people would agree on the 144, or like as high a performance as you can get. Game development is all about shortcuts. You're basically figuring out shortcuts to issues that either affect the real world or affect the virtual world, ways to emulate without taking up too much performance.
Very well, very, very well
Oh,
said.
he's stuck in the wall.
I'm going to channel my entitled baby gamer for a second. These people keep on saying they're going to give us more powerful consoles that could do more stuff, but then the stuff gets more complicated to do, and then we get less, and we still can't clip it. Oh my God, when's it ever? Well, why do they keep on promising these super things, and why are they more powerful, and then it does less? I hate it. I hate gaming. I hate everything. I hate you. Why can't you make? Why don't I have a quantum computer that just does all the hard stuff constantly all the time?
So, funny saying that. It is a funny conundrum, right? Hardware gets better, and yet games seem to run less performant. I think and I'm not saying this is fully the reason, I think part of the reason is the way development happens nowadays. With engines like Unreal and Unity, you're kind of given all these tools that are generally less performant, but they get the job done for someone who doesn't want to go too in depth. For example, if you start a Unity project right now, any of you who developed a game out there, you'll know this too well. When you first develop your little project or big project, whatever it might be, apologies, I don't want to diminish anyone's work. You might have something that is like say a map that's about 500 meters by 500 meters, and the performance is arse. Like, it might be arse, right? If you haven't done optimizations, it's going to be bad. Like the streaming thing we discussed, I'm going to shift Jay for this example. The game, in our game, we stream in areas to make it performant, so not everything is there all at once. I move through the area and you'll see things pop in, and that is because it's unloading and loading stuff constantly. This is for performance reasons. When it comes to things like Unity and Unreal, they give you the basic tools, but the optimization is up to you. You still have to put in the work. Years ago, when people used to work on N64 games, PS1, it wasn't quite as easy access as it is now. Again, you didn't have Unity, you didn't have Unreal, you didn't have these engines that made things super easy and to understand. It was all done very hardcore, you know what I mean? Like, you had to really go nitty gritty to make everything work. I mean, if you ever looked at an example of how they made the original Mario games, like the 2D ones, wow, it's so different to how you develop a game nowadays, even if it's the same type of game. So it's not per se the word, I wouldn't say laziness fits it, that comes to mind, but it's not the right word. It's more of, now that developing is more accessible, people don't always know the best way to optimize, and the tools you're given don't, optimizing is something that is very particular to a project. Not every game is going to use the same form of optimizations, because different games call for different optimization techniques, So the streaming, for example, in this game might not work for GTA 5, because GTA 5 has persistent AI running across generally large areas, but the AI aren't running constantly across the map. Oh no, like, there might be certain ones. A good example of a game that does do that is maybe Skyrim. Skyrim will have the AI calculated when it's close, like within a certain proximity, and the rendering happens, the animations play out. But when you're far enough away, the game, the way they optimize their stuff is they still have them running on kind of like think of it like maybe like a GPS, right? When you look at like a radar of people moving around on a map, it's kind of like, in a weird way, it's like that. On the virtual side, they're emulating where they're going to be based on their their stats or whatever, but it's not as hardcore as them being animated in front of you or having their what's the word I'm looking for? Their location pinpointed exact. So it kind of approximates. That's the best way to put it. For performance reasons, a lot of things are approximated when it gets far enough away. So again, Skyrim, right? A lot of people here have played Skyrim or Fallout. I'm sure you've noticed that there's certain quirks when using the weight system. Like AI in the local area might act different to ones that are far away when using the weight system. And again, that's because the ones that are further away from you and they're not in your direct vicinity, they're not spawned in, quote unquote, they're still being calculated, but it's a more rudimentary approximation of where they're going to be. So like I'm sure a lot of you know about the fact that people in Whiterun in Skyrim have their own daily chores and routines they do, like animations they play out. Like if I was an NPC, I'd go to the dinner table and do this, then I'd go to the pub down the road and I'd hang out with these certain people. And this is all approximated after you leave the area. But once you're in the immediate area, this is happening. This is like happening around you. You're witnessing it. So yeah, sorry, a long explanation, but the fact is performance. Like performance and optimizations are pretty much the thing people are aspiring to do. Wait, I thought Laura was already in there. I was like, hold the hell on.
Oh, this is where one of the bad
bug.
lift issues, right?
Yeah, hopefully we'll see it.
Very good that felt like a mini documentary there, right there. Responding to my entitled gamer bro persona. Very well done. Whatchamacallit, Anders responded, I think most of the 1262 animations are procedural. I didn't work on them personally. Oh, a little smiley face. He's like, I do all my stuff by hand. I'm not the one who procedurally generated the wobbling tentacle.
Oh yeah, that might have been. I don't want to point fingers, but that might be Sterling. Actually, maybe. Yeah, I feel like that might be a Sterling thing. Sterling, by the way, Jesus man. I mean, Anders, the work you've done is fantastic with the weapons. I honestly, I do believe this. I had this conversation with somebody recently. I won't
The
say
bug's
who.
working on mine.
Oh, is it
Yeah,
happening?
it's on me as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
all right. Go to bug hunter mode. What are we seeing now?
Okay, so if you switch over to Riker and Laura's perspective, when they're in the lift, they should be showing at the bottom of the lift where we started off. But once they exit the lift, they will spawn back here. Now, from my perspective, they're in the same spot regardless. But once they're on the lift, they will be shown down there. When they're on the lift, they're up above, like where I am.
Ah.
Is that tracking? Am I saying that right, guys? That is where you're.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. See, he's looking up. Am I up here, Zach? For you, I'm all the way up, and now I'm right in front of you. Am I in front of you?
Hello, good sir.
Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, fun little thing that. But no,
Right.
sorry, I was just saying really quick. Anders, amazing work on the guns. Honestly, I think some of them are better than Ready or Not, and I am a big Ready or Not fan. Many hours.
Oh,
So,
shots
I
fired.
I love the animations, love the models. Yeah. I mean, heck, any of you at Ready or Not want to come and talk shit? I'm all for it. I love your game. No, I'm a huge fan. They've done an amazing job with their company studio. Oh, okay, yeah, here we go. I'm going to retreat a little bit because this is where we sometimes get capped. This is actually the place we died on our first run or second run.
I believe so.
Because the enemies that spawn on the left-hand side there. But yeah, the monsters and the weapons, all the animations in this game are really nice. Especially considering it's indie. Like, you know, for an indie studio, Frey really does push the envelope, I feel. And again, Ready or Not is technically indie and they do as well. But it's so shocking nowadays what a small team can do. Especially when they have good talent. What the hell? I pressed the wrong button, my bad. Oh, I've got no bullets, that's why. Oh, wait, what? Okay, no, we have another bug. There you go. When switching weapons and going back, yeah, I forgot about that one. It will reload your gun, but you'll only see the slide pull back in. But yeah, small teams do great things when they hire the right talent. If you're working on a game right now and you're planning on going big at some point, and maybe you've got an opportunity to expand your team, quality over quantity. You know, you're gonna find there's some talent out there that you're gonna want to nab up straight away. I'll tell you that right now, without a doubt. Oh god,
that door behind you guys. I was grabbing one of my guns. I forgot that door opened.
Oh shit! Get behind cover.
We did have a question from Mr. Piss Whistle. Why is it I cannot lean certain ways at all times? Do you have something in terms of regards to his desire to lean?
Yeah, clip it. Clipping. That's
Oh.
sorry. Just straight away it comes to mind. So regarding what we're talking about with clipping, so I mean it's not perfect the way we do it currently, but basically when you're too close to geometry, we stop the clipping to avoid you going into it. Now I do know that it doesn't. Oh, sorry, Riker, I just shot you. I mean, thank God friendly fire doesn't work. Yeah. Sorry, 1 second. So much noise in my ears. I've got the game turned right down, but it's still loud. Yeah, it's clipping. So sometimes it doesn't work correctly. I mean, look, here's a great example. I mean, this is just a head clipping in general, not a special one. And again, something a lot of games struggle with. With the peaking system, we try our best to, or the devs try their best to make it so that it's you know, consistent. But there are areas where you'll get invisible collision that might stop you from, you know, from moving around. In fact, here's a good one. There you go. Oh, actually, that one's allowing me to do it. That's weird. So usually invisible collision affects the peaking, but in this case, it's actually not. But in my experience previously, it has been, but the forklift is not one of them. But yeah, you can't. Oh, that has changed. Okay, never mind. Apologies. So I'm used to the forklift stopping you entirely, but it's now a little bit better than it was before. You can kind of go on it.
Yeah.
I mean, Zach, have you ever been able to get on that before?
I've been able to get on it. I've been able to have to jump over it, but
Sliding.
I do find it strange that it does stop you because I mean,
I'm on an ice rink. It's an ice rink.
yeah.
Aha! Go on
You already
there
stuck
again?
your head through this corner.
Yeah, I did that one. Oh, sorry,
Okay.
can you stand on that again? Just like slide, do a little slow slide. It's just really entertaining to me. He's Jesus.
I'm trying to stay on it. It's actually
He's
difficult.
floating. You honestly look like something out of a Disney movie where like the villain comes in like floating. He's a bad FBI man. Also, chapter 2 got changed, but I must say one of the things I appreciated when I first joined, and I know we're going to have something like it again, is this area was part of the end of chapter 2 in its previous state. So you kind of had you know, it alluded to this area at the end of chapter 1, but you also have it come back in the end of chapter 2, and that was a nice touch. But that had to be removed because we've got new plans for that. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be amazing.
Ooh, so is Chapter 2 getting as significant as a rework as Chapter 1 did in 0.13?
I am not at full liberty to say, but I will say that it is having some things. It has had some things changed to it, of course, rather large things for the sake of story and for the sake of like gameplay flow. And there's going to be more that come up as well. Ah, yes, there's two. Sorry, just now seeing it. Yeah, there are 2 elevators on each chapter. The reason I was thinking of 2 and 1 is. Oh, let me grab some health. The reason I was thinking of 2 and 1 was simply because in chapter 2 it's like the very end elevator. We had some fun bugs of chapter 3, by the way. Chapter 3's final prison elevator used to send you into water, so like you'd complete the objective but you'd drown just as you complete it, which I just thought was great. What a great send off.
You never win. Even when you win, you lose. That's truly the life of a UIU FBI unit.
Yep, gruff. Just a gruff, grim environment, really. And they never a full win. But nah, these guys do pretty good. I honestly can't wait till this game gets closer to release. I mean, I enjoy it as it is, but knowing what's planned, it's just going to be a fantastic journey, and I can't wait for the fans to experience it. I mean, hell, me first though, right? Like, sorry guys, but you know, I want to get to it first so that we can make sure it's the best. You know, we're going to get it in the best state we can for you. But yeah, there's a lot of plans, and it's going to be fantastic. And I do hope that you guys stick around for it. I really do.
Well, the development roadmap has been posted. It is available now. I posted it on the socials. So if you want to read what's coming up, go check it out. And then you can have a little bit of a better idea of what Aaron is able to see. Very well done. And that bug through. How many would you say you found in that round? Like 5, 6?
I think it was a bit more. I think, well, found, yeah, maybe 5, 6 in terms of ones that we explained. Oh god, that was quite. I think that's quite a lot that I dawdled through. Guys, how long have we been running for, Isaac?
We have been going for about 2 hours. So I know it's like what, 12 noon for you guys.
Yeah, it's like 12:30. Oh, here's another bug. Here you go. Straight away, spawning into chapter 2. Oh, there you go. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I was basically able to move my camera now while in that menu.
You were able to walk around, right?
Here. Oh, actually, no, that might be intentional. Yeah, I was able to not walk around, but like look around. Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, this one happened again. So I like this one.
Well,
so,
what is that? It's like a circle. It's like a loading screen over his. It's like he's thinking. What is that?
I see it too. It's a gun.
So,
I, Clients
you
see
just see a
guns.
gun. Oh,
Yep.
okay. I see a person. I see a full-on soldier, an FBI agent. Hello, soldier. Oh, I killed him. He's dead. Yeah, so that's a fun little one. And his loading screen stays, which is quite nice.
Interesting.
So it
listen,
just
guys, he was the imposter. Just saying.
Among Us mode confirmed.
Yeah, the latest update. Should we maybe adjourn to? I'm thinking if we can do one quick one together. I mean, chapter 2 isn't that long. Maybe we can make chapter 2 work. How do you guys feel about that?
I could push through a chapter 2. I mean, I think
We
it's
speedrun it.
fairly simple. Yeah, we pretty much speedrun it. Yeah.
How do you feel about that, Isaac?
Yep, that sounds like a plan. I was kind of curious to see chapter 3 since I haven't seen it much, but yeah, if you want to like bug test,
I agree with you. No, you're right. Sorry, I agree with you. Chapter 3 would be a better choice, showing off some of the new stuff for the people. Although chapter 3 is a little longer, but whether we complete it or not, we'll see. But great to jump in. No, good shout.
Give me just a moment. I'm gonna go use the bathroom real quick.
Yeah, no worries. You know what? I'll do the same, actually. Bear with us, guys. Just going to take a quick restroom break.
All right. So I will regale you with my voice. And I also have another terrible song as we wait for the people to use their restroom. So this is... Where is it? I had it loaded up. Here we go. So this is The Circle of Bugs. It's sung to the tune of Lion King. From the code in the dev's hands to the glitches in the game, there's a journey we must take to make sure it's not lame. We must track the tiniest flaws in the landscape of our code for a smoother gameplay cause. It's a path we all know. It's the circle of bugs, and it tests us all through broken quests and cutscene freezing till we squash them all in a never-ending loop till our game stands tall. It's the circle of bugs. It's the circle of bugs, and it tests us all through broken quests and cutscene freezing. From the first alpha test to the beta we embrace, we uncover what's a mess in this virtual space. With our eyes and ears attuned to the quirks and the crashes, we debug and reassume till the problem passes. All right, that was absolutely terrible. Thank you for tolerating that. Thank you for everyone who's enjoyed this. I will keep you posted when Al Barney's session is going. Thank you through the circle for saying that was a beautiful song. There will be a future event with Al Barney. So stay tuned for that. I believe Anders, we're in discussions of figuring out a time for another Anders event. He says he's working on something interesting. So as soon as we have that scheduled, I will let you all know about that. Of course, stay tuned for more news. I'm working on 2 potential movie nights. Once the details of those are locked, I will announce them. And stay tuned as we eventually do another game night where we will unleash SCP-5K's player restrictions. So 16 to 32 people can run around in the Act 3 and enjoy all the new content and probably break it in ways that it was not meant to be played. So thank you for hanging around. Of course, if you have any other questions about Q&A or game development, get them in now for the wonderful QA crew. Would love to hear what you have to say. So post those questions in now. Get them in the chat. I want to see them. I want to ask them. I want to make them come in. Love to hear them. And let's see what you've got to say as they all return back from the restroom, because being a Q&A also means you have to drink a lot and then you have to go to the restroom a lot. So that is just a natural part of the process. Gamers go into bio breaks, classic part of WoW raiding, and as you can see, even in a professional place. So while we continue to wait, I am also found that game tester ad, which I sent to Aaron, and I'm going to play it for you. Are we back?
Oh, we are back. No, carry on there, please.
So I was just going to play this old tester ad on the stream.
Hey guys,
and I'm going to link it.
testing that game yet? I've got another one I need designed.
We just finished level 3 and need to tighten up the graphics a little bit.
Great.
Let us know when you're ready, by the way. And
Hey,
we'll crack on.
I can't believe we got jobs doing
By
this.
the way,
I
yes,
know.
stay hydrated.
And my mom said I would never get anywhere with these games.
Call Westwood College online, 800-914-8582. That's 914-8582. Call now.
I love that ad so
Finished level
much.
3 and need to tighten up the graphics.
We just need to finish level 3 and tighten up the graphics. Oh yeah, that's how gameplay works with your little controllers. You just gotta tighten up the graphics.
Yep, tighten 'em up.
Anders, thank you for coming in, and thank you for popping in, and yeah, look forward to always welcome to pop in any live stream you like. But yeah, so I'm just playing the Game Testers ad from the late 90s, early 2000s. I also put it in chat for everyone's viewing pleasure. So, Aaron, tell us, what are we looking at here?
Oh, okay, so right now we're just looking at the beginning. Oh, sorry, I thought you were still looking at the game ad. Yeah, we're in the beginning of chapter 3. Nothing to report just yet, Tom. We are making our way through the facility into the dorms area. So usually, I mean, fun little thing from the design perspective here. You know, fun little chase here where I say chase to beat the shutters. You can actually get under there if you're fast enough. I usually am, given the fact that I speed run everywhere, but I missed it that time. Hey, Zachary, you want the shotgun?
Yes, sir.
You want a
I
little bit
will
of this
take
shotgun?
this shotgun.
Oh, yeah, okay, I was looking at Laura. Sorry,
Oh,
Laura.
okay. So we still have that one bug where
It's
it
still the
doesn't
bug.
really show the... Yep.
Yes, please show the if Isaac, could you focus on Riker's screen?
Yes, I am. All right, I have the Rika screen has been queued up. So what are we? Give us the analysis.
So this first shotgun right here, when you come across in the beginning of chapter 3, there's a shotgun that sits right here. Let me switch back to the AK. Sometimes you spawn in without a weapon. That's also an unknown bug. But so as you see, it says AK-47M, or 74M on the UI. You switch to the shotgun. It is just a visual bug, but for some reason the UI doesn't update with this shotgun, and it appears that normally it either shows your old weapon or it shows nothing.
Oh,
But it still functions as part.
that's really peculiar. I wonder what the hell causes that. That is like a weird little bug, but I guess that was like something you knew about for a while.
Yes, this is something that is actually fixed in the current build.
Well,
But it's just an interesting little visual bug.
most intriguing.
Oh yeah. Could you, Zach? Would you mind? Do you want to do that little potato game? You know, just vault over the crouch guy.
Oh my god, yes. Ready?
Right. Yep. We'll do it in sequence. Is it working? Oh.
Go.
Tactical vaulting.
Can you do it?
Almost got stuck.
Take that, Gears of War. This is the next stage of tactical vaulting action. Oh my god, who knew that there's a whole game of leapfrogging that you can do.
That's
the word.
it. I said potato almost like hot potato, but yes, you're right. Leapfrogging, that's the one. Excuse me.
Oh, zoom tight.
Thank you. Love that word. Gesundheit. Oh, imagine you could just knock yourself out on there, you know, just like realistic physics, you know, UIU knock themselves out on there. Oh, yeah,
Instant death. Instant death. That would be
yeah, like
that
stubbing
would
your
be
toe should be instant death.
Oh my god! Right.
I'm gonna take on East.
Yep.
All right. I will go whichever
East.
side I feel like going.
Are those like little?
Please.
Are those little holographic screens with like the gameplay from like Trey talking? Are those the new addition in this patch?
Yes, apologies. I should have brought that up. Yes, so with the latest update, or updates, I should say, we've had the podiums included, and this is to kind of give the players a perspective of where we're going with the design, like, you know, story elements, things like this, things we want to mention to the community. They're very nice. They were actually implemented quite late in the process, but they work flawlessly 95% of the time. I think we've only ever had like a couple small bugs before their inception, like officially into the live update. So prior to that, but yeah, they're very solid. They're very nice, and again, it's always nice to have information from the developers. I think it's important to have that presence of the community, especially when we can kind of show it off in game in a way which is like not law breaking, but but it still kind of gives you an understanding to the background stuff.
Well, it's a great little feature. It reminds me of the Valve dev logs, and I think it's a great thing to kind of like tell you like. This isn't finished, but you can at least see the design prospect of what we're going for as we like march our way to 1.0.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I used to love I think it was first time I saw that was on episode 1, like it's a
yes,
tapes, right, or cassette tape.
Was it cassette tape? I thought it was just like a mode, and then you'd see like little things in the game, and you could just click on it, and then there'd be like, not audio logs, but like developers were talking about you. Well, we designed this to have player feel isolation, and that's why the lighting here is designed, and we limited the ammo, etc. All those bits throughout all the levels.
You're probably right. I'm gaslighting myself probably, but I remember it being like orange cassette tapes within the map that you'd kind of like go up to and interact with as you're playing, and they only spawned in when you enabled the commentary mode or whatever.
You might be right. It might be
wrong though. I could be mixing up the games.
No, I think you have Cal stuff is confirming. Yeah, that's right. I just forgot about the cassette tape. I just remember like the translucent like arrow thing that you'd walk into. But yeah, I think you're right about the orange cassette tapes.
No, I'm surprised I remembered that, honestly. It was a very, very long time ago. Oh.
Well, I'm not surprised because one, not many games do it, and Valve does not make many games that are single player anymore. So it's very rare that we get those.
Oh yeah, I don't know about you, but like CS:GO and all that, I've heard good things about the Source 2 version going on, but yeah, Counter-Strike Go, Counter-Strike Source weren't as much of my jam. I was more of a CS 1.6 kind of guy.
That's interesting.
Multiplayer, I should say, when it came to that. How do you feel? Are you more of a CS:GO guy?
I've never been like a CS guy, just because like I guess the aspect of like getting killed off and not being able to respawn, pisses me off. Although I do know it does make the game more fun.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't like the slow nature of waiting for respawns. I've always been a fan of it because it makes me play more tactfully. But yeah, I can see how it's not very for example, I've got ADHD, right? So impatience is something that comes with that sometimes. So sometimes I hate it and I'm like, oh God, I just died at the beginning. I'm gonna have to wait for so long. And other times I'm like, right, now I know that I've got to be very careful and you got to stop being a silly boy and you got to play hard.
well, when you win, it's super satisfying. I guess how would you say like Counter-Strike Go Counter-Strike compares to like Rainbow Six Siege? It's kind of a similar idea, right?
Yeah, I've not played Siege personally. It's never really, tickled me. But I've got friends who love Siege. I got one friend in particular who I won't mention by name. He was obsessed with that game for a good while, and the only reason he stopped playing was because the community got rather toxic, which I'm sure many people have heard the same thing. There are just something that happens. It's not always, it's not always developers' fault or their implementation. Sometimes it is just, competitive games bring out the worst in people, right? It's like it's like sports in real life. Sometimes people are bad sports, and just it's part of life, right?
Well, and also that weird gambling system for skins, where like certain like CS knife skins are like worth the hundreds of thousands of dollars. I never really understood how that like economy built, but so some people really want to fight over a leopard skin.
Yeah, and plus the amount of like con artists that have come out of the woodwork because of it, right? Oh God, I goofed up. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the whole skin system, honestly. Or the roulette, the gacha style things in games. I really don't appreciate that. I give them somewhat of a pass because they're Valve and they've given me so many good deals through Steam. Wink, wink. But yeah, no, I'll wait for you to respawn. By the way, Law, I've got like one tiny little slither of health there.
And that's one
reason I like CS 1.6, though. By the way, is that
it didn't have any of the gacha mechanics. And remember,
yeah, exactly.
And remember, all you Afraid SCP-5K fans, if you do not want to see this wonderful game become a nightmare of gotcha things, make sure you buy a frame merch. A frame merch is the only way to make sure that we don't try and nickel and dime you for leopard print knife skins.
Yes. Exactly. Although I do believe we have some nice stuff planned for people who are I think it's early supporters of the whole Omni thing. You know, there is planned future stuff for them regarding not just content, but a couple you know, special little skins and whatnot. Which, you know, I like it when it's like that. DLCs that include content and extra skins, I'm always appreciative of that. As long as it's not the only feature, which thankfully is definitely not.
Well, yeah. As long as it's just like we give you the stuff and we don't, like, you know, charge you some stupid extra thing for it, or, you know, tie it to a gambling mechanic.
Yeah. Do you remember Oblivion back when, like, you'd buy the DLC and it
Yeah.
was a horse DLC and you just had like a horse and 7 different saddles or something like that?
Well, I thought wasn't Oblivion's deals. Everyone loves to, like, you know, call the horse armor the beginning of the end, but I thought Oblivion had really good DLCs. Didn't it have like several expansion packs that were like 20 hours long, really content filled?
Yeah, Shimmering Isles, but there was a particular one which was about horses. I can't remember fully. I'm kind of I hope I'm not mixing up games here because I do love all the Elder Scrolls games. But yeah, anyway, yeah, there was a DLC where it was like a minor DLC, and it was like, oh, you had you had these horses that had special armor. I think it was the horse armor pack.
Was it a pack? I thought it was just one horse armor you got.
Was it just one horse armor? I could have swore. You might be right. You probably are right. But I could have swore there was like a special pack you could buy, and it was only cheap most of the time. I think you got it free with the Shimmering Isles, but if you didn't buy it as part of that, you had to get it separate. I'll have to check on Steam. This is back in the day of expansions, after all. You know, before we had the whole DLC concepts in place.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how DLC killed the expansion star.
Yeah, yeah, right. And oh boy, how some developers like to abuse that, as some companies. I will not name any, but as you're very well aware, some of them like to abuse the idea of DLC. And oh boy, the word content has become very frail in recent years for some people. Whoa!
The elevator's open, by the way, guys.
Ooh, I'm coming. Let's go.
1 second. I just need to get myself a little sip of water, and I shall be back in 2 seconds.
No worries. It's only do your thing. Ah, vaulting. Fun.
Interesting.
Have you already got the eyeball, or?
Oh yeah, everything's done.
Oh,
we're just waiting in the elevator.
I was doing the whole talking, running, not.
No, I gotcha. No,
limited processing power going up in the noggin. It's
no, exactly. I mean, you know, at the very least, you know, you can't stay still because there's a high probability of you getting killed, but you still got to process it.
Exactly. Okay, so the elevator issues were happening here as well. I don't think you guys are going to experience it though, because I'm pretty sure.
Ooh, the infamous SCP elevator. So why is this guy giving some people so much? What is it about these elevators that like gives Unreal such a difficult time?
So just something that's hard in games in general is obviously when you're making it just a long-winded answer, I'll try and make it short. Single player, right? Single player, you're only worrying about the elevator going up and down and making sure collision works and things like this. Nice dancing. But when it comes to multiplayer, you have to replicate these things across the board. Now, if you literally replicate, I mean, a mini example, ragdoll. Yeah, you've seen loads of games have ragdoll. You and your friend are looking at a corpse, and you're like, oh, I'm seeing him over here. My friend is seeing him over there. And that's because if they replicated the exact position and angle of every joint for the character, the IK as they call it, the inverse kinematics, that would be a nightmare. Your network would suffer. It would take a lot of performance in general, network as well as your CPU. So sorry, brain farted there while thinking about where we're going here. Yeah, replication is something that's quite hard to do in a lot of games, or rather it can be hard depending on what you're doing. Doors are a nightmare for single player games as well as multiplayer. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Oh, there we go. There you go. Look, the issue's happening. They're shooting at the wall.
Oh.
They were shooting at the wall over that way.
So
yeah, I had one over here. He was stuck in the wall, but I think his issue was just he couldn't quite get out the door and he was locked onto something else.
Okay, yeah. For me, it was the D class in the other room there, the one past that door you're looking at. They were, yeah, they were acting funky. Sorry. Anyway, carrying on. So elevators. Yeah, replicating the elevator across the network can be tricky. There are situations where, depending on what you're telling, so you might send a signal to the client players saying, "Hey, we've just, the elevator's moving up." Oh, guys, you got crabs. You got crabs, and I don't mean that as a euphemism.
I'm coming.
No, I'm coming.
Oh no, we're good. I got him. I just capped him.
Oh.
Sorry,
Oh,
didn't mean to
okay.
take you away from the fray.
No problem.
Yeah. So doors, elevators, networking them is a bit of a bitch. It just is. Some games get it right, some games don't. It's a learning curve. There are different methods of handling them, and again, it depends on your game project, right? Like if it's a first person, you'll have a few methods that work. If it's a third person, it might be slightly different. I don't think in RTS it's usually as much of an issue. But like VR makes it very complicated because in that case, you're not just replicating the door's open shut position, but obviously everything in between from the player grabbing it and moving it around. So yeah. I might not have answered the question fully. I apologize. It's getting late for me.
I think you gave a very, very interesting, detailed facet that shows that elevators are not a simple thing in the game development world.
But doors more so. I'd say doors are more problematic than elevators, generally speaking.
Really?
From what I've heard, I should say. Yeah. There's just something about doors that are really problematic, right? To get across network play. And again, even in single player, because there are many. It depends on what you want to do with the door. I mean, sliding doors are usually easier. Funny enough, saying that while we're looking at sliding doors, these are typically easier because, it's just a straight up. It's either moved across or it's moved the other way, like kind of like elevator. But once there's swinging involved, you've got to think about how that door interacts with not just the player, but like the AI and all these different things, how that replicates across the server. I'm going to take this weapon.
And just out of curiosity, how has Chapter 2 compared to Chapter the Antarctica chapter? Because you say Antarctica is pretty solid, but is 3 as stable, or is it more complex because it's got more like puzzles and different elements like that?
I'd say 3 is it's a hard one because as it stands right now, it's pretty good. I mean, as you've noticed, we've not had as many bugs as we had in Chapter 1 while playing Chapter 3. Oh, I won't shoot this yet. Hold on, let's wait till we're just ready to go for the chaos. Sorry, this part's about to get really chaotic, as you know.
Do you see something though? Do you notice that the vine's not here?
Oh
Stopping us from going
yeah.
up?
Wait. Oh god, nice eye. Yeah.
Bug busters.
Is it the? Hey, don't shoot it! Don't shoot it. Let's see if we can go to the top. So here you go. We're gonna bug it up straight up. We're gonna make it even jankier. So we should be able to just go all the way to the top. Does one of you want to wait at the bottom so we don't die to the?
Yeah, I got you. I'll stay down here. Stay by the
Here we
actual
go,
objective.
D-class. Here we go. Oh, they might not spawn actually. I didn't think of that. Or is it one more up? But yeah, Chapter 3 is generally solid now from all the testing and the hard work the developers have put in. The Antarctica, though, I still argue is the most stable overall, just in my opinion. I mean, again, it's got its own little quirks and bugs, but it's the most stable from what I've experienced. And I don't know, Zach, what do you think about that? Do you think Antarctica is the one?
Antarctica is probably the most stable because. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd have to agree with that.
Oh, there you go. The bug happened again. He's shooting. Oh. Reach for the sky, dirtbag. Oh, well, he scared me.
Are you guys able to go all the way up?
Yeah, it looks like it. We're just taking out the D-class quick.
Okay.
Having a jolly old. You can come up, by the way. We've cleared one of the floors.
Would you like me to complete the objective anyway, since I'm down here next to it?
Ooh, yeah, do it and then run up as fast as you can. I want to see how the water reacts because so basically the water's got some special things set up for it. Is it? That's going really fast.
I just realized. Yeah, I just realized I think it's going up at the rate of you guys being up there, because I think this starts the process.
Oh,
no worries. That's what I was going to mention. So, sorry if I'm getting louder. It's the game noise is making it hard to, hear myself. Yeah, the water will rise more rapidly depending on where you are, and that's we had issues of replication regarding that as well. Similar to how elevators can be a pain, it can be a pain getting the water system as well to work correctly as well. Oh, hold on one second. I want to see if there's some jankiness I can do here. Yeah, the water rises faster than. I'm surprised you're alive, Riker. I honestly thought you would get stuck. You know,
I was
due to
just shooting and moving.
scooting, moving, and shooting.
Shooting and moving.
I thought I was gonna die. I'm not gonna lie. I thought I was gonna die. Then I wasn't sure if that collision was the same. You know.
Oh, yeah, right.
So funny though. I wonder. I think this is gonna get. Oh, sorry, Laura.
I broke something.
You broke something.
Yeah. Can you look at my stream?
We have a fresh bug reported. What has been broken here? Oh wow, she is like stuck in the middle of the water thing, and oh my god, what is going on? This is chaos. This is like Inception.
Streaming?
Yeah, she's streaming it. Hold on, let me have a look.
No, I mean, is it a streaming issue though?
No, it's not a streaming issue. It's definitely a gameplay.
Oh,
Okay.
are you looking up? You're looking up, right? Oh, it's kind of a streaming issue, actually. Yeah, so it looks like the level streamed out for her. I'm not sure why that happened. Oh, do you know what? It might be because we were able to go this far up and we weren't meant to. Zach, you're a client as well. You're not seeing that at all, are you?
I'm not. It must be a hardware as well. You know.
Oh yeah, Laura unfortunately is on a laptop compared to us, and it's not. It's a high-end laptop, but it's not as high-end as our desktops, unfortunately. So that, I mean, it's a good thing though having that, because we find more issues regarding variances in hardware. So if you're ever constructing your own QA team or dev team, sometimes it is, especially with QA, it's better to have varied hardware going from the lower end to the higher end.
Just out of curiosity, that was another thing I wanted to broach with you guys. Because like one of the nightmares of PC game development to me would be like, how the hell do you test when there's so many different permutations of different hardware? I know you've got like 3 separate systems, like a medium, low, and high tier. How does that inform your QA process?
So regarding hardware variations, it really depends. And again, kind of a project. Whoa, welcome, Laura. It can be project to project dependent, but generally speaking, I mean, you can't. No company is able to test all hardware variances. That's just a sad truth. There is no way. Even the biggest companies out there, they have like I can't remember the exact word for it, but it's like they'll have their own lab of many computers they deploy a project to test, and they can kind of go through oh shit. Sorry, they can go through automated testing. Whoa. You know what? I'm just gonna let myself die anyway in a sec, probably. Oh no. Yeah. Excuse me. So loud. There we go. I'm just gonna die. So yeah, there are companies that are larger that can kind of have labs with certain combinations of hardware, but they'll be covering like they won't be going too in depth. Like you're not gonna have every single NVIDIA graphics card going from like 7 series or 6 series all the way up to the current 1400 or wherever it's at. Excuse me, just still. Oh, okay, that went quiet really quick. Yeah, there's only so much you can test, and it's usually going to be you want to cover a wide net, so you'll go for popular hardware combinations, and even then you won't be able to get all of them. So the community is something that a lot of companies rely on for that, understandably, because at the end of the day, especially for indie companies, you cannot expect them to be able to test on all of the individual hardware types. And this is why things like Android and iPhone, as a weird example, Android is a lot harder to QA for than it is iOS, and that is because iOS has far less variations, which means that when you're developing a product on there, it's going to be more stable because you know exactly what you're dealing with.
Ah, that's a very interesting insight.
I'm not really an iPhone person, but I do admire that aspect because it's more of a closed-off system. They're able to give you. Oh, I'm so close to dying.
Almost there.
Almost. Give him hell, boys! Semper Fi! That guy is hiding like. Oh, okay, I'm dead. Laura's alive though, and Zach.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay at the top because.
Oh no, we're almost at the bottom. You sure? Like Zach's already there. You might as well go.
I need to die or something.
Oh shit!
Come on!
Oh, I'm gonna run down. I'm gonna run down as quick as I can. I'm gonna dodge all the bullets. Oh, I'm the wrong way.
me get as close as I can to this door so maybe
Sorry,
Laura will spawn down here.
Yeah, like I was saying, that's one thing I admire because you get a more solid product for the end user. But the sad trade-off is that you can't have, as you know, maybe you don't like an iPhone. Maybe you want hardware that's a little bit higher that you can't get from current iPhone hardware or what have you. So yeah, it's got its drawbacks, but it's got its perks. Oh boy, oh boy.
Uh-oh.
From this direction only.
Uh-oh.
I kind of just want to jump down. Oh, I suppose I can jump down here. Alley-oop. It's worth it. Okay, we all good?
Yeah, I'm down here.
I still might die, but I'm making my way downtown. Walking fast. Faces passing. Homebound. Oh.
At least this is interesting because we get to see what like underneath the map and stuff.
Odin asks, hello, just finished all chapters and I love it. Glad to hear it. And after release of SDK will be available for modders. Yes, eventually there are plans for SCP to be available for modders. It is planned to enter into the Steam Workshop. Zintu the Circle asks, that means I can work on the bug hunt. If you join the Affray server, yes, you can join the bug hunting, and by reporting things in the bug chat, you could be an honorary bug hunter. Now I just need to convince Trey to make like bug hunter T-shirts, so everyone could be a recruited bug hunter.
Ooh, there you go.
I got a fun little, I got a silly little bug here. So I was trying to find one to show you. The guards can jump on the vines and like traverse them, which is quite funny. But across the doors here, sadly, I think they're all open, so I won't be able to. Maybe I'll be able to show you. One of the doors here is a bit bugged, where there's a kill state on it. So on the left doorway, for example, you see sparks. I do it on the right doorway, you see nothing, right? And it's like, oh, that's strange. Walk into the door. Oh, I can't do it. It's because it's closed. If the door was out and I was able to touch it, I would instantly die. And that is because there is some funky mechanics going on with the door's state. I think that's fixed in our internal, not 100%, but yeah, I'm pretty confident that's in the live version. Guys, I'm gonna just cheat my way down to you. Forgive me. I'm not a Puritan today. I'm
No,
just
you're good.
getting through it. Jump down, Laura. We'll catch you. The vines will catch you. Jump on my head.
If you look at my stream, you can see the problem I'm having.
Oh, are you still having a streaming issue?
Very, very bad.
Okay. I'll preemptively kill you. I do apologize. That is an unfortunate showstopper for you right there. If you spawn back in and it's broken on the stream, because we're right near the end, you're welcome to just leave the lobby and we'll just try and get through it.
Okay.
We've had some little bugs here. Oh. Did you already shoot him, Zach? Or did a guard shoot him?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I shot him. He's in a weird... His animations broke, though. It seems like it froze, you see.
Oh, I'm seeing him laying down like he's dead.
Oh, I'm seeing him.
Seems like you're seeing all kinds of interesting, whatchamacallit, little... this has been a very fruitful section in Chapter 3.
Oh,
it's like visual synchronizations, because I think I may have shot him, and I wasn't like... I maybe took cover like immediately as I shot him. And so I noticed there are some situations where if you have some teammates kill some like zombies or any other like enemies out there, and you're not in the area and you approach, in some instances you'll see them just kind of hanging out visually. They have no collision, they don't attack you, but their static image is just kind of standing there for a minute.
Yep, and we had that earlier on my end as the host with the Size-E, the zombies. I saw one that was just like floating, not floating, but just standing there, like not T-posed, but close enough. Laura, did it happen for you again?
Yeah.
Oh, don't shoot it yet, Zach. Don't shoot it. Let's see if this is still alive. Ready? Come in the elevator. So usually, if you shoot this while you're in here, it didn't happen. So sometimes it'll break the objective, and you have to kind of exit and come back in for it to recognize. Another one we had here before was the water would be, kind of still high up after draining, so the players would eventually drown before they finish the mission officially.
Uh, Odin asks on YouTube, to be honest, surprisingly, SCP-5K is my top 5 militarism shooters, but sadly for me, the game in current state is more shooter than anything else. Any clues why in Chapter 1 at the rooms with the broken pipes, FPS drops so badly?
If I had to take a stab at it, I'd say it's to do with the lighting. I could be wrong about that. That's more of a dev question, but I do believe it's
Is it
lighting related.
you talk about the chapter? Is it the chapter 1 area where you have that first visual resonator encounter where he's like eating that guard and he goes up into the thing, but you get the big fan? Is it that
I
area?
think he meant the pipes bit, the bit where you find the red blue valve, unless I'm mistaken.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I
I
feel
assume
like
that's what he's on about.
right. Okay. I'm thinking. I think some of it based off of like how Albie's described some things as well. I think a lot of it also has to do with like I'm sure lighting also has an issue, like a heavy deal with it, but the level streaming when it starts streaming in different areas of the level, it seems to trigger like in sections
Yeah,
as you
good call.
yeah.
That's it. That's more. I mean, so it depends on if they mean a hitch in performance, which that would of course apply, or if they mean a consistent performance dip. If it's a consistent performance dip, my best guess is to do with the lighting, because on our hardware, all three of us, that's the main thing that's kind of crippled us or our hardware. Like,
Yes.
brought our GPUs to their knees. Like, for example, in game projects, most games nowadays use like a baked-in light map, right? And this is where it kind of runs the process before it gets pushed out, and that's like the lighting is done. It doesn't have to calculate extra lighting. However, that's only in the environment, like baked into the wall textures and such. So you have to have some form of like a light. Well, you don't have to, but most companies use like a live lighting, something that's running in real time, and those are they're very costly to run.
Resource.
Yeah. Also, sorry, before so I just want to do this quickly. Zach, unready. Make sure you're not readied up. Yeah.
Oh, all right. There you go.
Okay, I'm gonna do this one. Now ready up. Oh. Okay, here we go. So if I so I've spawned in here. This is a fun little bug. I can change my things here for whatever reason, but they don't show. And if I press exit, I'm now stuck back at the... Oh, actually, that is working different to before. Usually you'd be stuck without the UI. Oh, there we go. Now I'm stuck without the UI.
That's unfortunate.
So yeah,
The
I'm
view's
stuck looking
nice.
at the boat. It's a nice view. Yeah, it's a really good... I'm taking a screenshot of that.
Oh, I do love the ship sign, the NS McCready.
Yeah.
The thing homages are not
I should have... Yeah, sorry, I should have stayed there and not shift Jade. So, Zach, you saw my avatar spawned in, correct?
Yeah, you. Oh shit. You were walking
I'm
around.
here
Sorry.
now. So had I not have shift Jade just then, and I stayed in that camera angle back there, I could have moved my character, but my camera would have been stuck over there. So I could have technically, if I was really skilled, I could complete the whole game while still being at the boat using Zach's input, Zach's visual input. But yeah. Oh, also, Zach, I think you know what I'm about to do now that I'm looking at your face.
Yes.
Let's do give S and W just before we go. What's a good in between that's not going to blow your head off too quick? Let's try
There's
the
a short.
LAMG. There you go. There's a hole in his head. Oh, it's not going all the way through.
It's that one. Okay.
I'm trying to make it go. It's not going all the way through. But yeah, sorry. I know we already looked at this one, but I just love it on the GOC models. Let's. Could you blow my head off, sir? There we go. I have a headache all of a sudden. Chaos. Chaos. He's our best veteran, damn it. Look at him.
You got no torso, or you are just a torso with holes.
Yeah, same with you. I've blown off your shoulders, I've blown off your collarbones are intact though. Maybe I could sort that out. Yeah, bit by bit is fabric. Yeah, it does. Well, I mean, you say worse, I say better.
Well, yeah, it's just body armor fighting us now.
Who knew the GOC was able to employ new tactics of the Invisible Man to the Antarctic?
Right. This is these are just these are sci-fi paintballs. That's what they are. They cover us in invisible spray. I guess one last thing before we leave, I just want to point out. I love seeing this every time. Is the weird The weird little penguin over here. if you can call it a penguin. God, what a creepy thing to see.
Oh,
there you go,
ooh.
spawning in.
The little sign of things to come. The flesh thing penguin.
Exactly. And also where we did the trailer video where QA helped out with some of the shots. We had a nice shot that we did from this room here, if anyone remembers.
Ooh.
That was one we were really proud of. I think it was like something like this, like a slow pan as the players come through. That was fun to get. That was a really fun one. I think it was lower actually. But yeah, nice shot with the light coming in, the creepy aesthetic of the environment. I mean, look at that.
Yeah. Odin has a question. I also had an issue with 173AB. Most probably the same object in code. But to the point after SCP-173 moved, sometimes it becomes invisible. I noticed that is happening often when two players are watching at him, and the second player just glanced at 173 and the other player is watching.
So we've never had him disappear straight up, like as in. I'm gonna take it you mean he's invisible, but like he's still able to get you. If that's the case, we've never had that. We've had him disappear, but it's usually due to certain triggers. So like after you, like earlier on in chapter 1, right after you're about to go to water treatment, or sorry, once you're coming down from the upper area where the gas pumps are and whatnot, where the second encounter is, he will despawn once you get close enough back down to the like the little river looking thing. I can't remember the official word for it. I'm tired. But yeah, he does despawn at that point. He like disappears when you look away, and you'll hear a noise like or something really creepy, and that's like an audio cue to let the player know that he's pissed off. He's gone. Like he did, he wants out. He doesn't want to fight you anymore. That's the only thing I can think of. We never had him straight up disappear unless it was related to the triggers. We've had him get lost. I mean, that happens, which is quite fun. Like, again, if he can't pathfind to you, which in some rare instances, I suppose, that it can happen where he gets stuck on a bit of geometry or something like this. But yeah, other than that, no, I can't think of anything. Oh, the blur. I say, okay, this sun is too blurry. This is too blurry on this build.
Mm.
Ooh,
Sorry, just
have you tried aiming down your sight at it?
Yeah,
Or
it
just,
makes it all funky.
Yeah, it's
I
interesting.
like that. I kind of dig it. Like it's not intended, but I dig it. I dig it a little bit. Also, the a couple of the particles that are showing up here, which should actually be attached. Like there you go. That's the correct usage for the particles. They look really nice. Level design do a great job at adding those little details. But then we've got a couple in the air, which I mean, personally, I don't think they're meant to be there. I could be wrong. I must admit, I've not been to an area this cold in real life. So I couldn't
Client
tell you for sure.
cannot see that.
Well, you just
But,
need to
Oh, you don't see it?
get invited by Mr. Beast to join his League of Explorers when he has one of those stupid videos. I had brought 7 YouTubers to the Antarctic. Whoa!
Yeah. Right. No, I couldn't. Oh God, that's too much for me. I mean, don't get me wrong. I prefer the cold over the hot, but oh boy. Oh, this guy used to be made of metal. If anyone is interested in that, before the latest update, during the fixes of the latest update, he was metallic. So he still looked the same, but when you shot him, you'd get loads of sparks, and it would be really pretty. Also, one quirk of this level is that if I grab that and you stay out there, we can't progress. But if you come in, or actually, if I come out and you go in, you still can't progress. But if I go in, we now progress, and we've triggered the event.
Right. Yep.
Run, Zachary! We gotta go! I've alerted them. Run!
I'm trying.
Do the tactical. Oh no.
Has the new vaulting mechanic added a lot of difficulty in terms of Q&A for you guys?
Yes, initially it did, but Albani, being the speedy man that he is, figured out a way to resolve most of our problems pretty quick. Also, Zach, I'm not GOC, am I?
Oh yeah, you're the nope.
I'm UIU and GOC when teaming up. Yeah, so that's something that happens. If I shift J, it will respawn me as a GOC. So boop boop, I'm now GOC. That's a fun little quirk.
Just Zophie had a very funny thing to say. I bought 7 of Frey Interactive employees to the Antarctic to fight zombies. Last one alive wins a boat. There you go. That's the that's the Mr. Beast video I need to see.
You know what? I'm in. Fuck it. What's the prize?
Oh,
the boat. Yeah, the boat. Sorry, yeah, they literally said the boat. I want more than the boat. I want Mr. Beast. I just want him. Like he can live in my house. He can live in my basement. There you go.
All right, we
Mr. Beast, let's make something happen.
Odin, an honorary member of this the bug busters, asks, "I can give you video or some benchmarks for my setup, but I don't know what is the best way to send you this kind of data and software I should use to benchmark test." So, what would be your recommendation to this aspiring bug hunter?
So, what type? I mean, I guess the first question would be what are you using as your benchmarking software? That would be the first thing, because you know, depending on what it is, it might differ from what we use. We actually haven't got an official process on our benchmarking yet. We're still kind of figuring things out because you know, QA's only been there for 2 months, and we've been absolutely slogged with as you can imagine, bug reporting and whatnot, and getting processes in place. However, if you do want to get that to us, you could put it into a drive for Google Drive, and then assuming it's not too big for the free limit of 15 gigs, you could send that over to us in the bug report section. That would always be appreciated. I wouldn't ask you to go out of your way. Again, I'd like people to be able to enjoy the game and not try and. I mean, listen, if you enjoy bug hunting, that's totally fine. I all the power to you, but I don't want you to stress yourself out with trying to get us that information. We will get around to it. Everything you give us helps, don't get me wrong, but we really do want you guys to just like enjoy the game as much as possible. If anything, I think more often we appreciate the feedback aspect. If you have feedback about gameplay elements that you feel passionate about, we do want to hear it. Like, it does help a lot. One of the things I do with any QA members that come into my team is the first thing I do is I let them lead the session, and we like me and Zach, for example, when Laura first joined, we let her lead the whole thing. It takes a bit longer than a normal session, but we get great feedback from it on the personal experience, because you know, the first time you play the game is probably going to be the most meaningful, right? Like, it's going to have that impact. You're going to decide whether you want to keep playing it or not. Also, I have no ammo in case anyone's wondering, so that's why I'm just running like a headless chicken. But yeah, feedback is appreciated, the bug reports are appreciated, benchmarks are appreciated. I can't say how useful they always are, because again, it totally depends on our systems versus what you're giving us and how descriptive it is and whatnot and what you're providing. But yeah, always appreciate it in general. You can put that into bug reports, and I think there is a section in the server, forgive me if I'm wrong about this, I think there is a feedback section to like provide your own kind of take on things. So yeah. By the way, I'm going to probably die at this point on purpose, and just I'm going to duck out momentarily. It is getting quite late. I didn't realize it's gone past 1 a.m.
Oh wow!
Time.
Well,
Yeah.
we have been going till like for almost 3 hours. So I think this has been a very generous stream. I think we found bugs. We've gotten into the QA process. This has been a wonderfully informative event.
No, thank you for having us. It's been fantastic. We always love to, you know, give people a little insight to the process and give them an insight to how much we enjoy the game, and hopefully that translates to you guys. You know, thank you for being fans of the game. And again, I just cannot wait for you to see. I mean, yeah, you've got the roadmap, but wait till you actually see what's coming. It's going to be great. And yeah, things take time. Small team and all that, still growing. But I can tell you right now, it's going to be fantastic. I have a lot of faith.
I know it's always really exciting when new updates get pushed along, and you know, it's always good to prove that, you know, work is being done. There are things that are being done. Although, just out of curiosity, how long on the first playthrough does the Antarctica map take to beat?
For me, Zach, forgive me if I'm wrong, but I think for me and you, our very first time when it was completable, or rather to the point that it is now in the live version, I think it was 45 minutes, because we had a bit of a rigmarole finding some of the bits.
Yeah, the foggy snow environment kind of makes it a little bit difficult to makes it hard to figure out the path. But once you figure out a path.
Exactly. Oh, Zach, sorry, let's try this again really quick. But just before we go, would you mind unreadying?
Oh, okay, yeah. Give me a second. Ready, unready.
Yeah, I'm gonna ready up. I'm gonna hit modify. Okay, now do your thing.
Ready up.
Okay, I'm gonna press exit. Now, if you look at Zach's stream, am I shooting right now?
No, you're just kind of standing still.
Okay, I'm gonna press ready. Yeah, I'm gonna press. Tell me if my gun changes actually as well. Does my gun change when I do that?
It's still a shotgun.
Okay, I'm gonna press ready. And now, am I running and shooting? I don't think I am.
You sounds like you have an empty shotgun. You're trying to shoot, but you need to reload. It sounds like.
Ah, give M10. I might. There
There
you
you
go.
go.
So if
You're
you
like
look
a-
at Zach's
you're-
stream, you'll see me
you're like a
moving, but
madman.
I can't see anything. I just see the boat. Very pretty boat.
Oh,
Hey Zach, can you shift J to that light? As
another
well?
another
Can you
quick
shift J to
question
the light?
from Odin. Quick thought. What do you think about the release branch made for the bug hunt, like with the additional data, sending all the debug info, etc.?
Sorry, you cut out for me, Isaac. Can you say that again?
So, quick thought. What do you think about the release branch made for the bug hunt, like with the additional data, sending all the debug info, etc.?
Not sure I'm understanding the question. Let's have a look. Is that on YouTube or is that on Discord?
That one's on YouTube. I will copy and paste it and send it to you. See if maybe a little bit more understandable in text form versus me reading it out.
Oh, okay. Quick thought. What you think? So we don't, if I'm understanding correctly, we don't typically give a branch that has extra debug stuff or anything like that. We give the release version to you guys, and of course that's the live branch for us. Internally, we have our own sort of ones we use. That I can't really say much about, but yeah. If you want to give us any additional information from the released version that you're using, like I've said previously, please feel free to put that in bug reports. Again, we do appreciate that. If you have feedback regarding the game, I do believe there is a feedback channel. And again, I totally could be wrong about that. I apologize. But yeah, we always like hearing what you have to say. Apologies if I'm misunderstanding your question. I do apologize. Maybe it's the 1:30 in the morning brain. Oh, okay, no worries. You know what? I might be having a beer myself after this before bed, so I'll be right there with you, Odin. I'll be right there with you. Oh, there you are. Oh, Zach's in my screen. Can you go back, Zach? Sorry, Isaac.
Oh no. All right. It is 1:00 for you, gentlemen. Final thoughts that you'd like to say before you sign off, and any well wishes you'd like to give to our wonderful audience.
Zach, Laura, if you have anything you want to say before I go.
No, I mean, other than the fact that it's just, yeah, I mean, it's not all just running into walls, playing the game. It's a lot of takes a lot of brain work sometimes, but yeah.
Yeah, structuring steps can be. I think for the one. I mean, even with our latest QA we just had come in recently, one of the hardest things is, even for them and for all of us really starting out, is kind of giving step by step, like the play by play, as it were, step 1, 2, 3 of the issue, but finding a way. Like some of them are so easy, right? Like if it's geometry or weapon related, a lot of the time it's super simple. Step 1, host a lobby of this. Step 2, spawn with this. Choose this weapon at loadout. Step 3, press this button. Easy peasy. What about when you have issues though where there's like 4 players involved and they each have their own role to play in causing a problem? You then have to kind of structure things in a way where it's like maybe you'll go with having a key at the beginning of your bug, which is like, player A refers to host, player B refers to B, C, and D, and then trying to basically structure your thing for the developers, your steps. It can be quite difficult. It can really get taxing mentally. So but yeah, anyway guys, I'm tired, I need sleep. Thank you for having me, and again, I can't wait for you guys to see what we've got in store. For those of you who want to get into QA, the games industry is booming. It's a little hard at the minute because so many companies in the last year have had layoffs. It's terrible. I know people that are still looking for work, and it's sad, but as long as you've got the passion, you've got the spirit, and you're willing to learn and take it in, you will have a good chance out there. And I do wish you all the best of luck.
Very encouraging words for all the people. Thank you guys for spending it. As always, go buy things at the Affray merchandising store. Stay tuned on our socials as well as the Discord for the community announcements. Always click, go to the whatchamacallit, I think most everyone here does, but if you don't, if you go to the game channels and you click the fire button from Moby Rick, that will alert you about community events, and if you go there, you can be alerted for future events, and I also post them in the event tab. So look for that there for when the next event with Al Barney will be scheduled, as well as future stuff. And thank you for coming. Always a pleasure to host these things, and hope you have a fantastic weekend. I know this past week was my birthday. Tomorrow I'm going on a very sacred expedition to drive up to Rhode Island, where I will go to the Nordic, the legendary buffet that has all-you-can-eat lobster. I've been wanting to do it for years, and now I'm finally going to do it. It is going to be an epic day where many lobsters will be slain.
That sounds delicious.
If you see the Family Guy, if you see Peter Griffin, let me know. Okay, I hear he's in Rhode Island.
I'll get a picture.
Aaron, Yuppie, you didn't do any Uru Dutches.
Oh, I know Trey would be so angry with me if he's still here. Okay, one last one before I go. Well, Uwu Dutch.
Oh, God damn it. That was the one thing I forgot. I should have made you do McCready in the thing, him reacting in the Arctic. What would McCready have to say? Or what would Arthur Morgan have to say about the Arctic level?
The boat. He says pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. As long as I got my 6-shooter, I'm all good.
All right. Let's let these wonderful people get some sleep and enjoy their weekend. And thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, and happy birthday, Isaac.
Oh,
Yes, happy birthday that we can actually say it verbally.
Oh, thank you so much for the wonderful birthday messages. I will keep those birthday wishes in mind as I devour crustaceans, as I eat the cousins of SCP-098.
I'm so jealous.
Convenient, given the lobster image as well.
I mean, there's two reasons for my branding. Number one, it's my favorite internet short, the lobster magnet, whatchamacallit, flash animation. And two, I love eating lobsters.
Could you link me to that? I'm quite fond of the Newgrounds days.
Oh, well, I will send that to you. I will send that to you. I love sharing the joy of the lobster magnet. All right. So I am I am ending the YouTube stream. Thank you for coming. And with that,
guys.
I bid you adieu. It's always so hard because like you're like